Part 67. Become a disciple of Taoist priest 4 eyes. Author, Dong Ren. Chapter 673. However, those monks who practiced blood path, Shura path, and inner demon path were still sitting there steadily. Those who can practice these Taoist methods and achieve success are mostly those with strong minds and will not be easily disturbed by the magic sound. Su Junming understood carefully that a black talisman suddenly condensed in his dantian. Soon, a ray of divine light fell from the central bronze mirror, instantly shattering it. Some of the scattered fragments were absorbed by the Soul Dao talisman, while the rest disappeared. Su Junming only drew nourishment from the magic way, learned by analogy, and supplemented the mysteries of his main practice, but he never thought about practicing the magic way himself. Time passed day by day, and after listening for 49 days, Su Junming opened his eyes. The demonic path explained by the demon ancestor of Taicheng Mountain was complicated and basic. He had already satisfied his curiosity and was not willing to waste any more time. Tai, are you going to take action? Tai Zhenjun opened his eyes. After Su Junming nodded, he opened his palm, and a 4-color sword box appeared in his hand. I leave this 4-elephant sword formation to you. Tai Zhenjun nodded, split into 4 parts instantly, and flew towards the southeast, northwest, and northwest. Su Junming looked at the patriarch of Taichengshan who was preaching, his heart moved slightly, and the surrounding space barrier was instantly removed. With Jingxian's method, he instantly noticed the subtle changes in spiritual energy and looked up. Su Junming, who was in mid-air, fell into his eyes. The sound of the sermon stopped. Many monks who were immersed in the wonderful truth of demons woke up one after another. Those great demons at the level of true immortals and earthly immortals also instantly noticed the existence of Su Junming. True Lord Chongshan Su Junming? Why is he here? A person's name, the shadow of a tree. As the founder of Chongshan Academy, the 2 most powerful sects in the righteous path of the spiritual world, the name of Chongshan True Lord Su Junming is almost unknown to everyone in the entire Shushan spiritual world. His presence instantly caused many demon cultivators to become commotion. Moreover, the founder of a righteous sect appeared at a demonic preaching conference. Of course, he did not come here by accident. Simoling, the true lord of Demon Luo, we meet again. The clear and distinct sound fell into the ears of everyone present. Su Junming. Haha, it's me. I didn't expect that. I didn't look for you, but you came to the door first, Simoling said coldly. It's rare for you to come out of seclusion after 720 years. As an old friend, of course I have to come to celebrate you in person and rid the world of Shushan of you as a demon. Haha. The wild laughter was filled with contempt. Ignorant junior, I have been cultivating Taoism for tens of thousands of years from ancient times to now. Even Guangchenzi, Rongqinggong, Lizi, and Chunyang Jinren all have to treat each other with courtesy in front of me. You, a young boy who is still young, actually dare you boast. Senior has been in seclusion for many years. It is inevitable that some people feel that they have gained some opportunities and achieved some achievements, so they do not take Senior in their eyes. An ugly monster with a huge head, wearing a green robe and full of hostility said. Senior, what Taoist fellow green robe said is true. This Su Junming is arrogant and does not take Seniors seriously. He has slaughtered countless disciples of my demon sect in these years. I hope Seniors will take action to kill this beast and die for my demon section. The wronged souls in the hands of the other generation must avenge themselves, said the venerable Moko Sikangjan. With 2 people taking the lead and supported by the demon ancestor of Taicheng Mountain, countless demon disciples criticized Su Junming verbally and instantly describing him as a big demon with a bag on his head and pus on the soles of his feet. He was extremely evil and even more demonic than the devil. Of course, most people just talked about it. After all, in normal times, they would not dare to offend Chongshan Academy, which is in full swing and has many masters. Su Junming didn't care about himself. The reason why he showed up first was to attract Sima Ling's attention so that Tai Zhenjun could set up his formation so that he could catch all the devils and grandsons present. Of course, not everyone is enjoying themselves. Old demons like Old Man Shivi and Lord Fire Spirit are all experienced and sharp-minded. The moment Su Junming appeared, he became more vigilant. If you don't prepare well, you'll run away immediately. Junior, it seems that you are really my evil enemy, Sima Ling said coldly. Smiling faintly, it's just a bunch of ants barking like dogs. Seeing the calm and confident expression of the green-robed Taoist across from him, Sima Ling's pupils narrowed slightly. A monk who can cultivate Taoist Xianxian is certainly not a fool. If he wasn't absolutely sure, how could he go to his own magic palace to block the door? After thinking about this clearly, his huge spiritual consciousness spread out and explored the surroundings. At this moment, the spiritual energy between heaven and earth shook violently. 4 sky-high giant swords suddenly appeared from the 4 directions of Qinglong, White Tiger, Suzaku, and Suanwu. Feeling the extremely powerful sword energy on the 4 swords, Sima Ling's expression changed drastically. Not good. His body turned into lightning and fled upwards. His speed was extremely fast, but no matter how fast he was, it couldn't compare to spatial movement. Su Junming, who had been preventing him from escaping for a long time, activated Hu Tianshen to perform a technique and appeared in mid-air instantly. With a flash in the palm, the golden light surged, and a golden gun with a tiger head, about 2 feet long, as thick as a goose egg, and a red tassel as bright as a blazing fire, appeared in the palm. Holding the gun and slashing down, boundless divine power exploded. A deep darkness appeared, which was the crack that appeared when the space was exploded. Boom! The sky collapsed. The sound is like thunder. Demon Lord Sima Ling was instantly beaten away. His body was as fast as a meteor, flying thousands of feet upside down, and was deeply embedded in the Taicheng mountain. Sima Ling's face turned ugly when he saw the trembling spiritual light on the black lotus flower he was sitting on and the overwhelming energy and blood on Su Junming's body. His hands instantly formed seals, and his body transformed into countless clones, flying in all directions like lightning. Su Junming held a gun in his hand and did not stop Sima Ling's clone from escaping. But soon, countless sharp 4-color sword energy flew from all directions, like a hot knife cutting butter, killing all the clones in an instant. Su Junming smiled lightly. Although it takes time to set up the formation, it won't take too long. At the moment of awareness, if you can't escape, it will be difficult to escape. Ignoring the 100,000 demon cultivators who were in chaos at his feet, Su Junming raised his right hand with sword fingers in front of his chest. Under the urging of his vast magic power, the low-grade innate spiritual treasure void mirror borrowed from the Dragon Emperor flew out of the formation in an instant. Turned into a giant. Vast silver light shone down, and the surging divine power of space exploded. In an instant, the 4-elephant sword formation disappeared. Along with it is the Taicheng Mountain Demon Palace. The noisy snow-covered mountains, where all the demons once gathered, have once again regained their tranquility. On a desolate planet millions of miles away from the Shushan world, in a valley with only rocks and gravel, stands a bluestone altar covering hundreds of acres. Suddenly, a vast spiritual light soared into the sky from the altar. Next moment, a magnificent sword formation appeared above the valley. The 4-color giant sword of red, green, yellow, and black stretched across the sky tens of thousands of feet, and the extremely rich 4-color spiritual light illuminated most of the planet. The sword formation was already in chaos. Most of the demon cultivators were like headless chickens, bumping into the sword array. No matter how they activated their magic weapons, they could not shake the vast sword energy of the array. Those with high strength, such as Old Man Shivi, Lord Fire Spirit, Lord Invisible, Old Buddha Chili, etc., did not act blindly, but connected with each other and patiently looked for opportunities. Or wait for the demon ancestor of Taicheng Mountain to take action, and then look for loopholes in it. In mid-air, Demon Lord Simo Ling stepped on a black lotus platform and held a bronze bell in his palm. He looked at the earth-shattering Su Junming opposite, with an extremely ugly look on his face. High grade, military, general. Word by word. Smile lightly. If I wasn't sure, how could I come here to bring bad luck to you, the demonic golden immortal? I have no grievances with you, why are you seeking bad luck from me? Simo Ling said coldly. The combat power of martial arts masters generally exceeds that of practitioners of the same level. Although he is a golden immortal now, he could clearly sense the vast and tyrannical energy and blood in the opponent's body during the brief fight just now. It was obvious that the person opposite was not just an ordinary high-grade military general, but a martial arts expert who had gone very far in this realm and was close to the peak. In comparison, he was only in the middle stage of golden immortal. The real threat made his attitude soften unconsciously. No injustice or enmity. Haha, that's not what you said when I captured Jupanpo. I'm just a dispensable disciple. I've long forgotten about my grudges. Do you think I will believe it? Su Junming said calmly. Are you really ready to break up with me? Although you are a top-grade general and have unparalleled combat power, I am not a weakling. If we fight, you may not be able to win. Su Junming shook the Pantuo divine spear, and the thick energy and blood rose into the sky instantly like a volcano erupting. The Taoist robe on his body turned into a set of dragon armor. The Suanman monk who was once surrounded by immortal aura instantly turned into a martial arts general who fought against the heaven and the earth. Infinite fighting spirit emerged from the bottom of my heart. Ever since he advanced to a high-level military general, he has been eager to use a hardy battle to test the results of his 30 years of hard work. And tonight, it's the right time. Simo Ling, stop talking nonsense and come on. Before he finished speaking, the Pantuo divine spear in his palm seemed to have crossed the space and instantly reached Simo Ling's chest. The tip of the spear flashed with cold light, revealing endless murderous intent. If anyone with a lower cultivation level faced Su Junming, who was fierce, with soaring chi and blood, let alone fighting, he would collapse instantly if he was hit by his extremely powerful chi and blood. Simo Ling has been practicing for tens of thousands of years, from the ancient times of the Shushan world until now. His cultivation is earth-shattering. Moreover, the Lingbao in his hand is extremely powerful, and he is well prepared. When he sat down, the black lotus instantly bloomed with infinite magic light. It's just that he misjudged the power of Su Junming's Pantuo divine spear. Boom. Tisk. Seeing the tearing magic light, Simo Ling's expression suddenly changed. With a wave of his left hand, the bronze bell was instantly blocked in front of him. Ding. The crisp sound resounded throughout the world. An unimaginable huge force surged along the bronze bell like an overwhelming force. I couldn't hold the bronze bell in my hand, and it was instantly blown away by the huge force. Become a disciple of Taoist priest 4 Eyes. Author, Dong Ren. Chapter 674. Chapter 656, The Supreme Magic Treasure, the Magic Pendant of the Heavenly Demon. Although he had long known that martial arts fighting skills were powerful and that top-grade generals were extremely powerful, he still underestimated Su Junming's strength. The first time they fought, they suffered a big loss. But, this is not the end. Several vast four-color sword energy struck from up, down, left and right, arriving in front of him almost like lightning. Su Junming spent 30 years of hard work and countless materials to complete the four-elephant sword formation. It contains the wonders of the four symbols and possesses the power of earth, water, wind, and fire, although it is far from reaching the point of turning into acquired chaos. But the power of the four symbols sword chi when it unfolded and was stimulated by the formation was even more powerful than Su Junming's Pantuo divine spear. The black lotus that enveloped Sima Ling and had been painstakingly practiced for tens of thousands of years was instantly cut into 4 petals. At the same time, the divine mirror of the void shot out a ray of silver light and instantly took away the blown bronze bell. Su Junming, who was holding the golden gun, did not attack again. A black flag suddenly appeared above Sima Ling's head. Countless black lotus flowers flew down from the flags, and the blossoming lotus flowers blocked the sharp and powerful 4-elephant sword qi. Feeling the rich innate Tao charm on the black lotus flag, Su Junming took a deep breath. Mid-grade innate spiritual treasure. 300 years ago, Ren Wuji was promoted in the Chinese world. When his spiritual energy revived, he received an innate immortal spiritual light from West Kunlun and integrated it into his own natal spiritual treasure, allowing yin and yang to advance to a middle-grade innate spiritual treasure. So Su Junming is very familiar with this kind of breath. I don't want to break up with you, but, since you don't know what is good and what is good, I will let you taste the power of the black lotus Miao falling flag. Sima Ling, who looked ferocious, grabbed the flag and waved it. In an instant, the overwhelming demonic energy turned into mist and surged towards Su Junming like the Yangtze River. It's just a middle-grade innate spiritual treasure. Do you think I don't have one? He stretched out his hand and a black and white aura shot up into the sky. In an instant, a huge black and white millstone like a mountain appeared, wrapped in endless black and white spiritual light. With the bronze mirror, he could have already seen through the true identity of Demon Lord Sima Ling. In order to deal with the middle-grade innate spiritual treasure in his hand, Ren Wuji's yin-yang great mill was specially borrowed. Boom, the millstone quickly rotated. The mighty yin and yang spiritual light turned into a powerful strangulation force, and the rushing demonic energy was ground into the purest spiritual energy by 2 millstones. Mid-grade innate spiritual treasure? How could you have a middle-grade innate spiritual treasure? Sima Ling was extremely shocked and angry. There are so many treasures in the world, who stipulates that only you can have them? Staring at the black and white millstone in mid-air, Sima Ling's face no longer had the previous confidence and calmness. The reason why he has been able to live from ancient times to the present has been to save danger many times, and even many ancient powers have been unable to defeat him. In addition to his excellent talent and profound cultivation, the most fundamental reason is this middle-grade innate spiritual treasure that contains the magical way of the devil. The devil falls down the flag. This flag not only assists in training, but also has powerful defensive power and several amazing magical powers. It is also Sima Ling's greatest confidence. Impossible, there are only 3 middle-grade innate spiritual treasures in a Zhongqian world. In addition to my heavenly demon wonderful falling flag in Chixian Shenzhou, there are only Guangqinzi's Yuan Yang ruler and Ji Xuanyuan's Xian Yuan divine sword. Before he finished speaking, Sima Ling's eyes widened in an instant, and his sword pointed directly at Su Junming. You are not from this world. Haha, it seems you are not stupid. As he spoke, the figure of Tai Zhenjun, wearing a sultry red robe, appeared above the yin-yang great mill. Hey, my lord, it's a pity to waste this spiritual energy, just leave it to me. After saying that, a black hole appeared above his head, swallowing the spiritual energy in the yin-yang great mill. Don't just eat and don't work, take away those demons below. Haha, don't worry. But I'll leave that guy to you. Okay. He patted his belly and looked at the frightened 100,000 demon cultivator below with a smile. There are so many free coolies that it almost makes me smile crookedly. After saying that, a black clay pot flew out from Tai Zhenjun's danshan. This treasure, called the sky-swallowing jar, is his natal immortal weapon. A top-quality fairy weapon that Su Junming helped to cultivate. Under the influence of Tai Zhenjun Suangxian's peak magic power, he instantly transformed into a giant of 10,000 feet. It's like a huge mountain suspended in mid-air. Looking at this huge clay pot, when everyone around them didn't understand why, the extremely powerful swallowing power instantly enveloped the entire Taicheng mountain. The monks under the earth immortal were unable to resist this extremely powerful swallowing. They rolled around, wailing in despair and helplessness, just like the innocent mortals they had once tortured and killed. Laugh. 3 pieces of black demonic energy turned into 10,000-foot-long demonic swords and hit the sky-swallowing jar. Su Junming swung the Pan Tuo divine spear, and 3 powerful Qi and blood divine spears smashed the magic sword into pieces. Simo Ling, your opponent is me. Su Junming, do you have to fight to the death with me? At this point, you are still asking such nonsense. Pan Tuo's divine spear was shaken, and the 4-elephant sword formation was activated distractedly. Shot after shot of spear light and traces of sword energy slashed at Simo Ling from all directions. The latter waved the heavenly demon magical falling flag, and black lotuses fell down, blocking the spear light and sword energy. Su Junming was not discouraged and kept trying again and again. Simo Ling is also a smart person. He soon understood that the other party was consuming his mana. Even with the cultivation level of the Golden Immortal, it will be difficult to activate the middle grade innate spiritual treasure after a long time. What's more, this large formation that seals the sky and locks the earth is full of sword energy, and there is no spiritual energy at all, allowing Simo Ling to replenish it. If the fight continues like this, even if he has the magical falling flag of the devil, he will be beaten to death by Su Junming. He gritted his teeth and urged the devil to drop his flag. The great demon body of Krishna. In an instant, infinite demonic energy soared into the sky. The vast magic light stirred in all directions. It was only a moment before and after. A giant monster that was 10,000 feet tall, with 4 heads and 8 arms, a bull's head and a body, covered in blue-black scales, with sharp claws and tangled muscles, appeared in the formation. Roar. The earth-shattering roar, like a Category 12 hurricane, swept across the entire formation space. Su Junming's long hair was flying, and his eyes were shining brightly across the sky. Looking at the powerful demon opposite him, there was a hint of heat on his face. He likes fighting the most. He shook his body suddenly. The physical body thrives in the wind. 3,000 feet, 5,000 feet, 9,000 feet. In the blink of an eye, it turned into 9,999 feet. This is the limit that top-grade military commanders can reach. If you want to reach a higher level, you must survive the catastrophe and advance to a higher level. However, there are never absolutes between heaven and earth. The pool of creation spirit sheds vast innate aura of creation. The power of a low-grade innate spiritual treasure, a created spiritual treasure, is naturally extraordinary. There was a boom. A loud thunder exploded between heaven and earth. Su Junming's body expanded instantly. It didn't stop until 13,000 feet. Although it doesn't seem to grow much, its strength has increased several times. With a movement in his heart, 4 heads grew from the back of his head, and 8 arms grew from his ribs. With a shake of the golden spear in his hand, Pan Tuo's divine spear turned into 4. Each of the 8 arms held a golden spear, and before Simo Ling could reply, he had already charged forward. 8 arms and 4 golden spears move forward together, and the extremely powerful energy and blood catalyzes an overwhelming force. Simo Ling's face changed drastically, and 4 heavy halberds appeared in his 8 arms, and he thrust forward, raising fire to set fire to the sky. The piercing sound of gold and iron is more piercing than the thunder of the 9 heavens. But, this is just the beginning. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Become a disciple of Taoist priest 4 Eyes. Author, Dong Ren. Chapter 675. The huge sky-swallowing jar, tens of millions of feet long, has endless power. In just a few moments, the monks under the earth immortal had already been swallowed up by it. Ha! Amidst the roar of thunder, a middle-aged monk wearing a black robe and a skull crown suddenly shot up into the sky with billowing magic light. A long knife flew out from the sky, slashed in the air, and broke open with a click sound. The devouring power that enveloped his body fled into the distance like lightning. Haha, it's not that easy to run away. He stretched out his hand and unleashed several four-color sword energy, as fast as lightning, surrounding the middle-aged monk from top to bottom and left and right in the blink of an eye. The dazzling sword energy spread across the sky. Accompanied by screams, a miserable figure fell from mid-air. Tai stretched out his hand, and a devouring power fell from the sky, taking him in instantly. With the four elephants' sword array accompanying him and the sky-swallowing jar, even the mysterious immortal will be captured obediently, let alone these true immortals and earth immortals. Within a quarter of an hour, everyone became Tai Genjun's meal. After clearing away these odds and ends, I looked up into the sky. At this moment, Su Junming had already fought with Sima Ling, the demon ancestor of Taicheng Mountain, demon Luo Genjun, and the world was in disarray, and the sun and moon were dim. The gigantic bodies, tall and tall, with 4 heads and 8 arms, were entangled with each other. The powerful Pantuo divine spear looks like a pillar hanging upside down, and like thunder and lightning flying all over the sky. The heavy halberd with unbridled evil spirit is like a real dragon of 10,000 feet, and like a divine dragon coming out of a cave, jumping in the air. The sound of gold and iron colliding together was heard. It's like rain hitting the banana trees, and it's like the heaven and earth are opening up. The angry roar was like thunder exploding from the sky, shaking the earth. On the ground where they stepped, half of the peak of Taicheng Mountain, which was more than 100,000 feet high, had been trampled down. Bang! The sound of gold and iron clashing was deafening. Deng deng, the two of them took several steps back. Sima Ling's eyes widened with an angry look on his face. 7 emotions and 6 desires demonic light. The magic falling flag of the heavenly demon above his head turned into thousands of feet, and the body of the Lai flag shed a colorful light, as vast as the Milky Way pouring out, gushing towards Su Junming overwhelmingly. Rumble, the yin and yang grinding wheel above the head unfolded, and the powerful yin and yang spiritual light poured down. No matter how strong the magic light was, it was instantly crushed into pieces. Su Junming is a master of soul cultivation, and it is normal to multitask. With a thought in his heart, the light of the void mirror above his head skyrocketed. Blade of the void. A black space crack thousands of feet long, lightning flashed across. Tai Genjun took the opportunity to activate the 4-elephant sword formation, followed by several powerful sword energies. Feeling the black cracks and the tyrannical evil spirit in the sword energy, Sima Ling's expression changed slightly. Motivate the devil to drop the flag, and lotus flowers fly down, protecting the whole body. When the void blade and the 4-symbol sword chi hit the lotus, it was like rain hitting a banana, causing countless ripples in an instant. No matter how sharp the sword energy was and how wonderful the power of space was, it was still slowly eliminated in front of the black lotus that was born and destroyed. Su Junming saw this and was secretly shocked. This heavenly demonic falling flag is really powerful, and it is worthy of being a middle-grade innate spiritual treasure. However, no matter how strong you are, you can't escape death today. With a finger, the yin and yang above the head are grinding, and the spiritual light is vast, extending across 3,000 miles. Yin-yang scissors. 1 knot of Dharma seal. The big mo is instantly elongated, like dragons mating and heavenly snakes wrapping around their necks. It was like a flash of lightning flying around him in an instant. Sima Ling, who had just breathed a sigh of relief as he watched the layers of space blades and heavy sword energy being destroyed under the banner of his own heavenly demon magic pendant, instantly felt an unprecedented evil energy coming over him. He quickly took a closer look and saw a powerful yin and yang divine light, with heads together like scissors and tails like stockings, arriving in front of him as if teleporting. Even though he was separated from the heavenly demon's magic falling flag, he could clearly sense the fierce evil aura radiating from the yin and yang scissors. Not good. Just as he was about to release the black sky great demonic body, he used all his strength to activate the heavenly demon's wonderful falling flag. Before he could do anything, the black and white divine light had already fallen. Ah! The shrill screams, accompanied by the flying blood, dyed the sky red. A fragment of corpse fell from mid-air. The demon's body collapsed instantly, and Sima Ling's upper body held the magical pendant flag of the demon and flew away into the distance like lightning. Extremely fast. Su Junming took a step forward, urging Hu Tianxian to perform his technique, and instantly appeared in front of Sima Ling. He raised his right palm, and a strange divine pattern burst out with dazzling silver light. Sima Ling did not dare to let the silver light cover her body, and blocked it with a wave of the magic falling flag of the devil in her palm. Su Junming, stop. As long as you let me live, I, Sima Ling, am willing to let you be my master and be driven by you. Okay, I want to hand over your soul. With a finger, the yin and yang grinding broke out again. The tyrannical yin and yang spiritual light rose into the sky, and the huge millstone, like a falling meteorite, crushed towards Sima Ling like lightning. Sima Ling hurriedly urged the demon to drop the flag. Infinite black lotuses are stacked in layers, blocking the way. Click. There was a huge earthquake in the sunny sky, and the black lotus was instantly destroyed. The huge millstone fell into the sky with a strong impact. Rumble. Taicheng Mountain, which had lost a small part, was still nearly 100,000 feet tall. The giant mountain, as huge as a planet, was instantly crushed into pieces by the infinite power of the yin and yang millstone, like snowflakes under the bright sun. Su Junming's hand changes. The yin-yang great millstone. Rumble, the yin and yang millstone rotated rapidly. The remains of Taicheng Mountain and even everything in the Four Elephants Sword formation were swallowed by the mighty yin and yang spiritual light and ground into pure spiritual energy. Suddenly, a black light exploded, like a stream of smoke, flying straight towards the bottom of the formation. Su Junming smiled lightly. You underestimated my Four Elephants Sword formation. The Four Elephant Sword formation, which he had trained to the perfection of the ultimate immortal weapon, evolved into acquired chaos through earth, water, wind, and fire. Unless the four golden immortals joined forces, there was no way they could break through it. What's more, Sima Ling was hit repeatedly by him, and he was no longer in his original state of arrogance, but a drowned dog. The black demonic energy flew downwards like lightning. The powerful four-symbol sword chi, layer upon layer, was like a raging wave, instantly colliding with the black demonic energy. In an instant, countless fireworks seemed to explode within a radius of 3,000 miles. Ah! With a roar of despair, the magic light surged. As if in response to his demonic energy, the more powerful four-symbol sword energy rose into the sky like an erupting volcano. Be careful of this guy blowing himself up in despair. True Lord Tai appeared next to Su Junming. Self-destruction? A demon cultivator who has been practicing for tens of thousands of years, do you think he would have such courage? It's always better to be careful. Su Junming nodded. You control the yin-yang great mill. Su Junming and Kippo Dharmakaya share the same true spirit, and each other's natal spiritual treasures can be used interchangeably without sacrificial training. Tai Zhenjun nodded. He stretched out his hand and made a move, and the yin and yang grinding machine slowly flew into his hand. Su Junming's heart moved, and a silver-white divine gate flew out from his dantian. When the magic power was activated, it instantly became a 1,000-foot giant. Su Junming, who was standing at the top of the divine gate, flew his hands, and the 9-foot king yun above his head flew out. The green lotus bloomed in the middle, and the Tao fruit inside bloomed with thousands of auras. Especially the sealing talisman is even more brilliant. Thanks to that willow branch, Su Junming's understanding of the sealing Dao has reached the golden immortal perfection. As if sensing the sealing talisman, the Ksatagarbha divine gate beneath his feet bloomed with infinite divine light. After accelerating to the extreme, Su Junming and the Ksatagarbha divine gate under his feet had turned into a silver-white sun with a diameter of 10,000 feet. The vast divine light illuminated the million-foot-long space within the four-elephant sword formation in a silvery white light. But soon, a stronger divine light of yin and yang took its place. Of course, Sima Ling, who was watching 6 directions, noticed the movement above his head, and once again saw the yin and yang grinding, like a meteorite, falling down with thunderous force. Having suffered a loss, he instantly activated the heavenly demon Miao falling flag to the extreme that he could. Infinite black lotuses stack up to form a huge black lotus covering 3,000 miles. The huge black lotus rotates slowly. But in an instant, he collided with the yin and yang that fell from the sky. Infinite brilliance exploded. Light reigns all over the sky. The power of yin-yang great mill in the hands of true Lord Tai is not as powerful as Su Junming. After all, the latter's cultivation level is higher. Even so, beating a half-disabled Sima Ling is not difficult. However, the heavenly demon Miao falling flag is a middle-grade innate spiritual treasure, although in the hands of the golden immortal, it is difficult to exert its full power. But the power of only 20 to 30% is already extremely extraordinary. If it weren't for the treasure in Su Junming's hand, it would all be extraordinary. There's no way to stop it. Seeing the magic falling flag of the demon being restrained by the great grinding of yin and yang, Su Junming, who was ready to go, clapped his right palm. In an instant, a vast silver-white sealed spiritual light, like a divine light, descended from the sky. The sealing aura that was activated to the extreme gathered nearly half of Su Junming's mana, the power of the innate spiritual treasure Ksatagarbha divine gate, and the magical sealing talisman that Su Junming realized the perfect golden immortal. Tai Zhenjun, who cooperated tacitly, instantly shrank the 3,000-foot yin-yang millstone to the extreme, revealing Sima Ling underneath. The sealed divine light suddenly appeared in front of him, giving him no time to react. When the black lotus touched it, it seemed to be frozen instantly and could no longer move. However, the power of the middle-grade innate spiritual treasure is too powerful. As time goes by, it is highly likely that one will break free of the seal. But when a master fights, winning or losing can only happen in a split second. The moment when the black lotus and the magical pendant flag of the devil behind it were sealed. Su Junming waved his hand casually, and the silver-white brilliance separated, and the black lotus enclosed in it naturally separated as well. The yin and yang mill flew in along the passage like lightning. In Sima Ling's desperate eyes, he swallowed his soul. Under the control of Su Junming, the sealing aura instantly retracted, sealing Sima Ling's physical body and the magical falling flag of the demon into the Ksatagarbha divine gate. The Great War was ended. Su Junming took a deep breath and gradually relaxed. After spending a lot of time and borrowing many treasures in advance, I finally completed the plan. 100,000 demons plus Sima Ling, the old demon, were captured in one fell swoop. The demonic path in the Shushan world will decline for at least thousands of years after today's battle, Su Junming thought to himself. As for cutting off the demonic path, he had never thought about it. In heaven and earth, there is good and there is evil. As long as there are monks, there will always be people who cannot resist the magic path of rapidly improving cultivation. Become a disciple of Taoist priest Four Eyes. Author, Dong Ren. Chapter 676. Yimei is surrounded by green cliffs and caves. Ascetic Taochuo, Qi Shuming, Master Tulong, the two elders of Songshan, Master Yijin, Jianbing Gruo, all the disciples of the 3 generations of Yimei are here. Everyone looked respectfully and eagerly at the old man in the middle who was wearing a white robe, had 2 long eyebrows and a majestic face. Real person with long eyebrows. Although it is only a clone of the lower realm, the prestige accumulated over the past millennium has brought endless confidence to the people of Yimei. I didn't expect that in just a short period of time, the Shushan cultivation world would undergo such a big change. After listening to Qi Shuming's narration, Master Chenmei sighed. Teacher, you have been in the Lingkong immortal realm for a long time, do you know the details of Chongshan Academy? Ascetic Tuchuo said respectfully. Master Chenmei shook his head. The immortal realm of the spiritual sky is vast, but the Kingdi immortal realm where I am spans 60 million miles, which is 3 times more than the Shushan world, and the spiritual energy is dozens of times richer. Among them, there are nearly 100 sects where Xianxian is in charge. And the other major immortal realms combined, there are even more. So unless you are a top-level sect with a golden immortal, you can't know everything as a teacher. After hearing this, everyone's faces couldn't help but show deep yearning. The vast and boundless world of Lingkong fairyland with rich spiritual energy is the real holy land for spiritual practice. Shuming, is it true that Chongshan Academy has more than a dozen true immortals and several mysterious immortals sitting in charge as you said? The disciple dare not hide his mentor. But everything is true. Especially 6 months ago, in order to strengthen Imei and recruit talents, the disciple followed the jade note left by his mentor and asked junior sister Dragon Slayer to go to Swanyan Valley in Dixu Mountain to fetch the Black Hand Immortal. When Mi Mingniang, the daughter of Chang Mi-he, came to visit, she took the Nanming Luo sword left by Patriarch Bodhidharma to Imei to await the killing. I never thought that I would happen to meet Pang Xian, the third-generation disciple of Chongshan Academy, the Tianxian Divine Lord, who was passing by. This person has no righteousness. He not only took away the Nanming Luo sword, but also injured junior sister Dragon Slayer with one sword. Junior sister Dragon Slayer has been practicing hard for half a year. She has taken many elixirs left by her mentor and has reached the late stage of Earth Immortal. She also has the treasure of Dragon Slayer's sword to protect her body. If he can injure her with one sword, then Pang Xian must be a true immortal. Otherwise it would be impossible. I think that Pang Xian is just the second disciple of Yan Chixia's section. He has only practiced Taoism for 100 years, and he has already achieved such a level of cultivation. Zhuge Liuyun, Gongsun Juniang, Fu Qingfeng, and others who are already above him will inevitably he has already become a true immortal. If this is the case, including the second-generation disciples of Chongshan Academy, there are probably not less than 20 true immortals under Chongshan section. As for the first-generation disciples of Chongshan Academy who have higher cultivation level, it is rumored that there are 8 of them, although the disciples have only met the first ancestor Chongshan True Lord Su Junming and the third patriarch 5 Virtues True Lord Long Did. But the 2 of them have been able to compete with Zen Master Zun Sheng since they were half a century ago. Now I'm afraid it's even higher. Chenmei nodded. It makes no sense that the disciple's cultivation level is improving rapidly, while the master is standing still. Chongshan Academy is indeed not an easy person. Teacher? Chongshan Academy has become the biggest obstacle for me to complete the massacre in Imei, lead the righteous path, seize the world's luck, and rise to the top. I also ask my mentor to take action and lead us to sweep through Chongshan and restore the prestige of Imei Baiun. Master Yuanjing, he said respectfully. Senior Sister Baiun, what you said is true. Please ask our mentor to come out again and lead us to revive Imei. Haha, Monk Yuanju said. Please also ask my mentor, Uncle, to lead us to revive Imei. Everyone said in unison. Looking at the respectful disciples below, Taoist Chenmei's expression changed. After finally ascending to the spiritual world, he would naturally not be willing to return to the mortal world again. But Imei is the sect he founded with thousands of years of hard work, and it is also his hard work. The reason why he still made rapid progress after ascending to the spiritual world was not only because of his extraordinary qualifications and excellent understanding, but also because of Imei's luck in occupying the Shushan world. As the leader of the sect, he also benefited. Only then can he achieve his current level of Xianxian cultivation. If Imei is lost, the improvement in understanding brought about by the sex luck will also disappear. The Chenmea Genren was naturally reluctant to part with him. Just get up. After everyone stood up straight. As the leader of the righteous path in the world, I, Ime, should obey the heavens and the times, regulate the world, fight against demons and heretics, and complete the catastrophe. Chongshan Academy is called the righteous path, but for a long time, it has been in vain and acted arrogantly based on its cultivation, causing strife in the world. It is no different from the devil's path. As a model for the world, I, Ime, should attack and deal with the calamity. My mentor is wise. The crowd shouted loudly. Master Chenmei nodded and said, Qi Shuming. The disciple is here. Are the purple and green swords here? Returning to my mentor, the purple Ying sword was once taken away by Chongshan Academy, and was later retrieved from Chongshan by Zen Master Tianmeng, Zen Master Beimei and their disciples. As for the Kingsuo sword, my mentor has never been seen since he ascended. The long-browed master frowned slightly. After he ascended, he placed the Kingsuo sword in the underground fire cave of Kangmang Mountain, not only to suppress the underground fire and accumulate merit, but also to seal the demon corpse Gu Chen. Originally, according to his prediction, the Kingsuo sword should have been retrieved by Ime at this moment. However, the heavenly secrets were in chaos and Chongshan Academy was born. Everything was different from when he ascended. Hearing what Qi Shuming said, he didn't ask further questions. I plan to go to southern Xinjiang personally later to retrieve the Kingsuo sword. Now that you have opened Ningbai Cliff, can you obtain the Lianji dust formation? Returning to my mentor, I have already practiced this formation with all my brothers and sisters. However, it is limited to the key spiritual treasure of the formation, the taking talisman. It was sealed deep in the Ningbai Cliff by my mentor. It is difficult to obtain without the mentor's personal guidance. Therefore, it is difficult to obtain it. Give it your all. After the Chenmei master nodded, he flew his hands, and countless magic seals merged into a spiritual light and flew into the depths of Ningbai Cliff. Not long after, a violet light flew over. After falling into his hands, it turned into a piece of paper that was 2 feet 9 inches long, 1 foot 6 inches wide, and about 3 inches thick. It was completely purple and had a texture like the finest silk. Strangely, the writing on it is cyan. From top to bottom, there are 6 in total. It was so mysterious and complicated that no one like Qi Shuming could recognize it. Just by looking at it, you can clearly feel that it seems to contain infinite mysteries. Taking talisman. Qi Shuming and other disciples had heard of it but had never seen it. Looking at it now, it is indeed extraordinary. Not to mention anything else, just the vast innate spiritual energy in the talisman is already extraordinary enough. Compared to the curiosity of Qi Shuming and others, Master Chenmei sighed deeply when he saw this talisman again, and scenes from the past emerged from the depths of his memory. At the beginning, he obtained the taking talisman and the purple and green swords deep in Mount Ime. The purple and green swords are low-grade innate spiritual treasures. And the taking divine talisman, although it is called a talisman, is actually a formation diagram. Its power is extraordinary and its grade has surpassed that of the best immortal weapons. After playing with it for a while, he waved his hand and the magic talisman fell into Qi Shuming's hand. This talisman is left to you for safekeeping. Yes. His eyes full of majesty swept over everyone, and the man with long eyebrows spoke loudly. You have to be patient for the time being, study the taking talisman more, and don't have a head-on conflict with Chongshan Academy. We will wait until I return from the spiritual world. Disciple, please obey. After taking a final look at the disciples, the figure of the real person with long eyebrows gradually blurred. Because of the chaos of heaven, Su Junming naturally did not know everything that happened in Ime. Even if he knew, he might not take it to heart. The peak level of cultivation of a top-grade military commander is enough to make him proud of everyone in the world of Shushan. On the top of the treasure tree of the palace, Chongshan residence is by the side of the creation spirit pond in the backyard. Su Junming, Tai Zhenjun, and Dragon Emperor were sitting cross-legged in the spacious pavilion. A tall, middle-aged man with a slightly pale expression wearing a black robe was floating in the air. The milky white air of creation slowly flew into it under the guidance of Su Junming. Gradually, the fractures starting from the chest and abdomen gradually grew. The wounds on his body also began to heal gradually. It didn't take long for a completed body to gradually take shape. Su Junming patted the green gourd on his waist, and a suction force pinched the flesh and gradually pulled it in. Haha, with one golden immortal slave worker and 100,000 demon cultivators, Ao Laosi has made a lot of money this time, Tai Zhenjun said after taking a sip of wine. I'm afraid I don't make as much as I do. The Dragon Emperor waved his hand, and several streams of light flew down in front of Su Junming. Take a closer look. A green copper bell, a broken black lotus, and a complete black triangular flag. It was the three treasures that Su Junming obtained from the demon lord Sima Ling. The green copper bell, named King Gluo Bell, is a top-quality immortal weapon with 11 restrictions. It contains the mystery of sound. After shaking, the sound shakes thousands of miles, and everything is shattered. It is very magical. Coupled with its material, it has extraordinary defensive power. It can be said to be used both offensively and defensively, which is extremely extraordinary. If Su Junming hadn't caught him by surprise and used the innate spiritual treasure Void Mirror to take it away, allowing Sima Ling to give full play to its power, it would have taken a lot of effort to capture the demon ancestor of Taicheng Mountain. The second piece, the damaged Black Lotus, is called Mora Black Lotus. Containing the magic of magic, it is an immortal weapon that Sima Ling used an innate lotus flower and countless souls to sacrifice. It has many magical powers such as ecstasy, phantom god, etc., but its defensive ability is inferior to King Gluo Zhong. Su Junming used the four-elephant sword formation to cut through it, but fortunately the source was not hurt. If there is enough soul replenishment, it can still be repaired. However, Su Junming does not care about a magic weapon. There is a high probability that this Black Lotus is also destined to return to its origins. The best one is naturally the Devil's Falling Flag. This is an innate spiritual treasure with 21 innate spiritual prohibitions. Its value is far better than King Gluo Zhong and Maluo Black Lotus. If it weren't for Sima Ling's limited cultivation and the inability to fully unleash its power, Su Junming would never have thought of taking down the Demon King with just this spiritual treasure. Holding this pendant in his hand and thinking about it carefully for a moment, Su Junming frowned slightly. The Dao of Heavenly Demon contained within is extremely profound. If you can understand it thoroughly, you can easily create a powerful demon. Pity. It's a pity indeed. This magical falling flag of the heavenly demon does not fit in with his main practice of Taoism. There is a high probability that his life will be ruined. But the value of a mid-grade innate spiritual treasure is unparalleled. If you can get it, it is an incredible opportunity. Become a disciple of Taoist priest 4 Eyes. Author, Dong Ren. Chapter 677. Playing with the magic falling flag of heavenly demon in his hand, he thought about it carefully for a moment and then put it away. Only the power of heaven and earth can forge innate spiritual treasures. If he wants to draw out the innate immortal light from this magical pendant flag to upgrade his heavenly furnace or creation spirit pool, it is naturally the best. However, if you want to do this, you must upgrade the Chongshan world to the Zhongqian world. Only the Zhongqian world can refine middle-grade innate spiritual treasures. Otherwise, it would be such a waste to use a mid-grade innate spirit treasure to forge a low-grade innate spirit treasure. As for the King Gluo Bell, even though it was a top-grade immortal weapon, Su Junming couldn't put it to good use. The useful treasures in his hand, whether it is the Pan Tuo Divine Spear or the four-elephant sword formation, are better than it. After putting it away temporarily, Su Junming looked at the black lotus in his hand. From Sima Ling's memory, we learned that this lotus originally grew at the top of Taicheng Mountain and was born from the aura of heaven and earth. Although it was not an innate spiritual treasure, it was an innate spiritual object. The difference between innate spiritual treasures and innate spiritual objects is that the former contains innate immortal spiritual light and is the carrier of the Great Road, while the latter is just a spiritual object created by innate spiritual energy. Even so, innate spiritual objects are extremely rare and are the best carriers for refining natal spiritual treasures. As soon as his heart moved, the yin and yang grinding machine flew out from above his head. The yin and yang millstone rotated, and the powerful grinding power enveloped the black lotus, and soon infinite soul essence flew out from it. The soul essence contained in a top-quality immortal weapon is extremely astonishing. Su Junming grinned at it with the yin-yang mill for a full hour before he completely squeezed out all the soul essence and evil spirits in the lotus flower. If it weren't for the yin-yang great mo being a middle-grade innate spiritual treasure, I'm afraid it would have been even longer. Without other impurities, the original black lotus has been restored and has completely transformed into a third-grade white lotus. However, the white lotus was severely damaged, with 4 sword marks almost cutting it into 4 pieces. After looking at it for a while, he tossed it casually, and the lotus flower flew up and fell into the creation spirit pond not far away. In an instant, the rich spiritual energy of creation enveloped it, and within a short time, it activated the vitality within the white lotus. Pale white roots grew out of the former rhizome, and a large amount of spiritual energy was attracted. The once damaged areas began to show signs of healing. If we keep it for several hundred years, with enough innate spiritual energy, this white lotus might be able to turn into an innate spiritual root, Tai Zhenjun said. The Dragon Emperor looked at the white lotus slowly recovering in the creation spirit pond. If we can use this magical pendant flag of the heavenly demon to advance the creation spiritual pond a step further, at most, this white lotus will be able to advance. Haha, this is not easy, Tai Zhenjun said lazily after taking a sip of wine. The Dragon Emperor understood what he meant. With the sufficient spiritual energy provided by Zhuolong's head, it is not difficult for the world of Chongshan to reach the standard of 100 million miles in diameter from north to south. What is difficult is the catastrophe test of the final world promotion. As long as we are well prepared, we have a great chance of surviving the catastrophe, and we now have 2 mid-level innate spiritual treasures. Using the power of the world to activate them is enough to fully unleash their power, said the Dragon Emperor. Although the yin-yang millstone and the heavenly demon's wonderful falling flag are good, it's hard to say what consequences they will have if they are used to overcome the tribulation. Tai Zhenjun shook his head. The catastrophe is difficult to overcome, and the difficulty lies in the fact that external help beyond the standard is never allowed, especially various powerful magic weapons. It's still too early to advance to the Chongshan world. Let's focus on the Shushan world first. Without the constraints of the Taicheng Mountain Demon Ancestor, it's time for the final showdown, said the Dragon Emperor. I really hope to see the expressions on the faces of the people in Yimei when they see that most of the 3 heroes and 2 clouds have been absorbed by our Chongshan Academy, and the great prosperity is not guaranteed. Tai Zhenjun smiled, with a smile on his face, deep anticipation. It must be very exciting. Su Junming smiled faintly, flew his hands, and infinite spiritual light exploded. A series of seals gathered into a powerful spiritual light. In an instant, a huge armillary sphere phantom appeared in mid-air. A faint divine glow enveloped the armillary sphere. Inside it is like a pale galaxy, with stars so bright that they are almost innumerable. This treasure is Su Junming's natal spiritual treasure. Divine Ball. It was also his treasure that disrupted the secrets of heaven. The aura that had been brewing for a long time flew into it instantly. The light of the heavenly secret divine sphere skyrocketed, and in an instant, the galaxy inside it collapsed inward. After a short time, it turned into a bright blue, almost solid ball of light. And most of the divine brilliance shrouding the outside has disappeared. At the same time, the entire world of Chongshan has undergone a major change. It is no longer an unclear mess and has regained its clear essence a century ago. In an instant, all those who were proficient in deduction in the Shushan world were keenly aware of the changes. Longxiang Temple is located on the cliff beside the river. Fenchuo, who was meditating in the quiet room, opened his eyes instantly. There seemed to be infinite mystery in his deep eyes. The secret has changed. His hands quickly turned over it, and it took almost no time to understand the essence. Amitabha, the fortune of the Chongshan lineage has indeed surpassed that of Yimei. Thinking of the plans of Sun Shen, Tian Meng, Bai Mei, and others during this period, Fen Tuo sighed deeply. She didn't think there was much chance of winning against Chongshan Academy, with Buddhism and Yimei joining forces. Even in her opinion, the wisest way is to stay out of the matter, and Shushan and Yimei will not help each other. If you want to gain merit, you don't need to risk your life or participate in killings. It's enough to just follow your heart and do good deeds every day. Unfortunately, Sun Shen, Tian Meng, Bai Mei and others don't see it that way. The sacred wooden palace at the top of the endless ridge in the barren mountains of the East China Sea. The giant tree god in a green robe put his hands behind his back and looked up at the sky. Interesting, the plan that Master Chenmei planned for thousands of years was overturned just like that. Master Chongshan Su Junming is indeed a great man. After a moment, there was a hint of deep thought on his face. Maybe, it's time to get rid of this barren little world and return to Chixian China. Yimei in the middle of Sichuan is surrounded by green cliffs. Ascetic Taochuo and Qi Shuming looked extremely gloomy. Even though their level of Tianji magic is not high, they can still clearly sense that Yimei's great prosperity has been interrupted. Master has said over and over again, the rise of Yimei can be traced to 3 heroes and 2 clouds. Now that the trend of great prosperity has ended, it means that some of the 3 heroes and 2 clouds have been accepted by other sections. Looking at the heavenly secrets, the prosperity of Chongshan Academy is far above our Yimei. It is self-evident for those who defeat our Yimei. Qi Shuming looked determined. I will inevitably have to fight against Chongshan Academy. The ascetic Tutu nodded slowly. Although Yimei and Chongshan are both on the right path, when it comes to the dispute over destiny, let alone 2 sects, even brothers who are closely related to each other will still fight against each other. Therefore, a second sword fight between Yimei and Chongshan is inevitable. However, both ascetic Tuchuo and Qi Shuming knew that Master Chenmei must return from the Lingkong immortal realm. Otherwise, with their own strength, they would most likely lose to Chongshan Academy in a sword fight. Suddenly, 2 rays of light flew in from outside. After landing, the 2 elders of Songshan, Zhu Mei and Bai Gai, were revealed. Asceticism, junior brother Qi, the secret has changed. Zhu Mei spoke urgently. We've noticed it. Damn Chongshan Academy, they must have interrupted my Yimei daxing and occupied the position of the protagonist of our murder and robbery, Zhu Mei said bitterly. Junior brother Zhu, calm down. Yimei and Chongshan have to have a fight, but everything will have to wait until the master returns from the spiritual world. Although Zhu Mei was angry, she was not a fool. She nodded. By the way, this time we went to Taicheng Mountain and found that it has disappeared. Disappeared? How is this possible? The Taicheng Mountain demon ancestor has been practicing for thousands of years, or even longer. His cultivation is profound and his strength is unparalleled in this world. How can he disappear? Ascetic Tuchuo frowned. Back then, the world of Shushan was filled with demonic clouds, which was truly earth-shattering. But both the good and the evil are basically aware that the demon ancestor of Taicheng Mountain will retreat again after 108 days. Apart from preaching, he basically does not interfere with the situation in the spiritual world. Therefore, no one has rushed to seek bad luck in Taicheng Mountain for many years. But this time he came out of seclusion, and within half the time, the demonic clouds in the sky dissipated. This amazing change naturally attracted the attention of many people. On the Imei side, they asked the two elders of Songshan to go and check it out. I don't know the reason, but Taicheng Mountain has indeed disappeared. Also disappearing are the 100,000 demon cultivators who came to listen to the sermon, Zhu Mei said quickly. There was still a hint of disbelief on his face. The faces of ascetic Tuchuo and Qi Shuming suddenly changed, and there was a touch of shock in their eyes. Who has such great power to kill the demon ancestor of Taicheng Mountain and the 100,000 demonic cultivators without a sound? Ascetic Tuchuo said in disbelief. Although the world of Shushan is large, this kind of shocking war can definitely affect an area of tens of thousands of miles. Once it happens, they will definitely not know about it. Nowadays, for such a big thing, there is no movement at all, which is really abnormal. Have you ever asked Zen Master Zhi Gong? Qi Shuming asked. I asked. The Zen Master was in the Tianjing Valley of Jialigong Mountain at that time. He listened to Zen Master Zunzhen's sermon and did not return. The other righteous monks around him left early to avoid disaster after the demon ancestor of Taicheng Mountain came out of seclusion. Bai Gai said in a deep voice. So no one knows what happened at that time, Qi Shuming said. Bai Gai nodded slowly. After a while, do you think it could be Chongshan Academy? Impossible. Zhu Mei interrupted the old man. Chongshan Academy is really so powerful. It has wiped out us and Buddhism long ago and has taken over the fate of the entire Shushan world. Why bother talking to us here? Judging others by oneself, on the surface, is indeed such a good thing. If their Imei sect had the ability to kill the demon ancestor of Taicheng Mountain and the 100,000 demonic cultivators, they would have wiped out all the disobedience in the world and seized the luck of this world. If it weren't for Chongshan Academy, which sect in this world would have such ability? Bai Gai said. Perhaps he is a powerful person from the Lingkong immortal realm, Zhu Mei said. But this explanation cannot convince everyone. If Lingkong immortal realm really took action, why didn't it take action earlier or later, but at this time? You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Become a disciple of Taoist priest 4 eyes. Author, Dong Ren. Chapter 678. Chapter 660, 9 Ancient Insects, 6-Winged Golden Silkworms. It must be someone from the Lingkong immortal realm. Zhu Mei's words were more like comforting herself. But Qi Shuming felt extremely heavy because he thought of the gentleman's agreement between Imei and Chongshan Academy. First clear the two evil paths, and finally the two teams will fight to determine a winner. Now that the Taicheng Mountain demon ancestor and the 100,000 demonic cultivators have all disappeared, at least 80% of the high-level cultivators of the demonic path in Shushan world have disappeared. For the rest, although there are many demonic monks who practice these two paths, most of them are insignificant and cannot hinder the general trend. In an instant, the sudden change of fate came into my mind again. Qi Shuming's heart thumped. Has Chongshan Academy completed all the layout and prepared for the final showdown? The more I think about it, the more likely it is. Seeing his increasingly solemn look, the ascetic Tutu asked, Junior brother, what did you think of? Senior brother, the demon ancestor of Taicheng Mountain and the 100,000 demonic cultivators have disappeared, and now the chaos of chaos has suddenly changed. I always feel that there is a connection between these two things. You are worried about Chongshan Academy? Qi Shuming nodded. Now that master has not returned, the only one who can help us is Buddhism. So I would like to ask senior brother to go to Jialigong Mountain and invite fellow Buddhists such as Zen Master Zunchen and Zen Master Tianmeng to Ningbai Cliff. The tone paused. When necessary, the Taicheng Mountain incident can be blamed on Chongshan Academy. The ascetic Taochuo's face changed slightly and he nodded slowly. Although Sun Sheng and Tianmeng supported Yimei, they only wanted to take advantage of them. They never thought of taking the initiative to step forward and block the gun for them. Unless there is no way out, the tyrannical strength of Chongshan Academy will force Buddhism to their side. Otherwise, based on the previous conflicts between the two parties, if Yimei is over, Chongshan Academy will definitely not let Buddhism go for the sake of the destiny of the world. If senior brother ascetic is going, it would be best to reveal something about senior uncle Chenmei's upcoming return from the Lingkong immortal realm by Gai I said at the right time. The reputation that Master Chenmei has accumulated over thousands of years not only has a great influence on the disciples of Yimei, but also in the spiritual world. If he can come back, it will bring great confidence to Chongshan and Buddhism, the anti-Kongshan alliance. The clear heavenly secret not only affected Buddhism and Yimei, but also had a huge impact on the people of the spiritual world. Especially those who were afraid of killings and wanted to take shelter under Yimei began to wait and see. The strong rise of Chongshan Academy has become the most powerful variable in the world of Shushan. Everything that was originally changed beyond recognition. Chongshan lives in the backyard. The divine ball in front of Su Junming spun rapidly. The greatest secret in the Chongshan world was presented to him in every detail. Especially about Yimei and Buddhism. Now that the secret is clear, he also needs to know some things. Master Chenmei? If he can return from heaven, he may really change this fate battle. Although he thought so, he did not feel that this matter could change the outcome. Even the demon ancestor of Taicheng Mountain, who mastered the middle grade innate spiritual treasure, the heavenly demon's wonderful falling flag, and had a mid-stage golden immortal cultivation level, was suppressed by him, not to mention the Chenmei master. This character, who was almost deified in the original work, is nothing more than a golden immortal no matter how powerful he is. With his martial arts training, he is not afraid. In terms of treasures, he is no better than the one who possesses many treasures such as the great mill of yin and yang, the wonderful falling flag of the heavenly demon, the Pantuo divine spear, the four-elephant sword array, and the creation spirit pond. The only thing we need to worry about is the Lianji dust formation. Spreading his left hand, a blue forsythia long sword slowly emerged. Pulling the sword out of its sheath, the rich innate sword energy rushed out instantly. The sword body, which is 3 fingers wide, is like a curve of blue water, extremely clear. Under the simple sword calyx, 2 ancient seal scripts come into view. Kingsuo. Choke, and return the sword to its sheath. Collected it again. Ever since he understood the purple Ying sword, he understood why the purple Ying Kingsuo was Yimei's most powerful treasure. These 2 swords, like Guangquanzi's male and female swords, are also a set of yin and yang. If the 2 swords are combined, the power they unleash will be comparable to a mid-grade innate spiritual treasure. That's why he didn't hesitate to go to southern Xinjiang personally and found the Kingsuo sword in the endless fire. As long as the 2 swords cannot be merged, then the pure Ziying sword or Kingsuo sword, although they are the top lower grade innate spiritual treasures of the 12 innate spiritual prohibitions, are unparalleled in killing, but they cannot pose much threat to him. Moreover, without Ziying Kingsuo's Lianji dust formation as the formation I, its power has also dropped a lot. When we take down the Yimei sect and combine the 2 swords of Ziying and Kingsuo, Chongshan Academy, will have another set of good treasures. Next to him, Tai Zhenjun took a sip of wine and said, "The purple and green swords are just a set of killing treasures in our hands, but in Yan Xixia's hands, they can become a cave-tightening treasure of his lineage," the Dragon Emperor said. In addition to the magical power of the innate spiritual treasure, the most important thing is the great avenue it carries. The true meaning of swordsmanship contained in the purple and green swords can quickly improve the swordsmanship of Yan Xixia's disciples. Gilul. After taking a sip of wine, Tai Zhenjun said, "Be careful not to worry about the lack of numbers but the inequality. You must know that in addition to Yan Xixia, Chen Lin's lineage also practices swordsmanship. In my opinion, it is better to give the Ziying sword to Yan Shixia. Qing Suo sword to Chen Lin. Su Junming thought for a while and shook his head. The combination of the purple and green swords can bring out its strongest power. Moreover, if Chen Lin is so narrow-minded, I will not accept him. After finishing his words, he waved. A dim golden light flew out from the creation spirit pond. After falling into Su Junming's palm, a 3-inch golden silkworm appeared, with sharp teeth in its mouth, golden eyes and pupils, and 6 wings on its back. It's just that compared to normal silkworms, this golden silkworm is extremely shriveled, as if someone has knocked out the bones and sucked out the marrow, and it has been squeezed dry. Finally a glimmer of life has been restored, Su Junming said. The green-robed ancestor had such a good opportunity that he was able to obtain the 6-winged golden silkworm, one of the 9 ancient insects. But it is a pity that a good-looking creature spirit insect was actually used by him as a sow. It was a waste of natural resources. Tai Zhenjun said. The 9 ancient insects are the time cicada, sky green snake, 6-winged golden silkworm, 9-tailed earth scorpion, multi-eyed golden centipede, 3-legged golden toad, 9-headed worm, sword butterfly and blood-bearded mosquito. In Su Junming's hand, the jade sword butterfly, the lowest among sword butterflies, contains innate sword energy and is the highest spiritual beast to protect the law. This 6-winged golden silkworm is as famous as the sword butterfly, so it naturally has its own magic. The most significant thing is that the belly of the 6-winged golden silkworm naturally contains a ball of the fundamental aura of creation. As long as you continue to feed spiritual objects, the golden silkworm will continue to grow. When it pupates, you can invest your own soul into it. After absorbing enough spiritual energy, an innate divine body can be conceived according to the level of the innate fundamental energy. It can not only become the deity, but also become a perfect Dharmakaya. The ancestor in green robe may not be a waste of natural resources, but he also knows that he does not have enough spiritual objects to turn this golden silkworm into a chrysalis. Therefore, he gave up a brighter future and chose the present that can be used by himself in a short period of time. That is, 100 poisons and golden silkworm goo, Su Junming said. Maybe. But as you said, the origin of this golden silkworm was destroyed by the green-robed ancestor. It would have to consume a lot of creation spiritual energy, otherwise it would be difficult to repair. And even if it is repaired, it still requires a lot of resources to make it mature. Tai Zhenjun said. It doesn't matter. It will be much easier to restore its origin once the creation spiritual pool has advanced to a middle-grade innate spirit treasure. Su Junming waved his hand casually, and the golden silkworm fell into the lotus pedestal of an acquired green lotus. Out of instinct, he began to absorb the surrounding creative spiritual energy, and soon the dark golden figure was submerged in a dense cloud of spiritual energy. At this moment, a white stream of light flew from outside, circled around the Dragon Emperor's head and then landed on his palm. Soon, He turned into a talisman. After opening it and reading it, Wolong He passed the message that he opened the upper chamber of Chongshan Academy in Rongcheng, and no one from Yimei showed up to stop him. With that said, he handed the talisman letter into Su Junming's hand. After a brief look, he gave it to Tai Zhenjun. There was no response despite the provocation under the eyes. It seems that Yimei is preparing to take advantage of the return of Master Chenmei to make a last-ditch effort with the Lianji dust formation, Tai Zhenjun said. Su Junming nodded. Qi Shuming is not a fool. With his wisdom, he will definitely be able to smell different flavors from the changes in Taicheng Mountain and the changes in heaven. The Dragon Emperor nodded and frowned. Since Yimei has made up his mind not to take action, wouldn't our previous plan have failed? If you want me to see, it's better for us to do it first to avoid wasting time, Tai Zhenjun said. After thinking about it for a while, Su Junming shook his head. It's not necessary. Now that we have the advantage of strength, it will be beneficial to us to make plans before taking action. You know, What we want is not just to wipe out Ime, but also to occupy the great cause. In this way, the cost of eradicating Ime can be minimized. After a pause, Su Junming sighed. In a battle of right paths, having a good reputation as a teacher is much more important than absolute strength. Should we keep waiting? Dragon Emperor frowned. Of course not, Su Junming smiled calmly. If they don't take action, we will force them to take action. Do you have an idea? Dragon Emperor asked. Certainly. A slightly expectant smile appeared on Su Junming's face. I'll see how they react. Become a disciple of Taoist priest Four Eyes. Author, Dong Ren. Chapter 679. Chapter 661, Mahavira's Treasure House, Purple Green Sword Sutra. Sister, where are we going? Li Yingxian harnessed the divine light of Isoul and followed behind several senior sisters. She has been practicing for 12 years. With her extraordinary talent and understanding, as well as the rich resources of the Chongshan lineage, although she has not practiced for a long time, she has already advanced to the middle stage of the nascent soul realm. With the divine light of Isoul and several spiritual treasures given by Master Su Huang, even the monks in the early stage of Yuan Shen can withstand one or two in a short period of time. Let's go to Kongtong Mountain. Fu Qingfeng turned around and said with a smile. Kongtong Mountain. Young junior sister, haven't you been there? Fu Yueqi said with a smile. No, when I was a child, I heard my father say that there are many demon cultivators there. Haha, Uncle Li must not have been there either. We have long since killed the demon cultivators in Kongtong Mountain, and the rest have either run away or reformed their evil ways. Instead, many disciples of our Chongshan Academy are cultivating there. Denbagu smiled. Since there are no magic cultivators, what are we going to do in Kongtong Mountain? Li Yingxian asked. Master said there is a Dakshan treasure there, let us take it out, and the treasure will be shared by our fellow apprentices and sisters, Fu Qingfeng said. Nobitis treasure. Yi Jing's eyes lit up. After awakening the memory of Shiro Yanu in her previous life, she also knew a thing or two about the Nobitis treasure house passed down from ancient times. I just never knew it was actually hidden in Kongtong Mountain. Senior sister, can you tell us the details of this Nobita treasure? Su Yuchen asked quickly. After Fu Qingfeng nodded, he organized his words. Thousands of years ago, in the Shushan cultivation world, there was an expert who came from Taoism to Buddhism. He was the leader of both Buddhism and Taoism. He was extremely powerful and well known in the cultivation world. Before the ascension, a strange stone was moved from western Tianzhu and placed in the Zuling stream of western Kongtong as a place to hide treasures. It contains a bay leaf talisman, a golden ring for subduing demons, a golden lotus throne, western sacred clay, a sword, a wooden fish, a convenient shovel, a golden sword, a dragon binding rope, a Buddhist scripture stele and 49 granulated magic pill. Wow, so many treasures, Li Yingxian's eyes lit up after hearing this. She has been in Taoism for the shortest time, and her character is not stable enough. Fu Qingfeng looked at her with a smile and continued. There are many hidden treasures, and it is not easy to get them. There are Buddhist and Taoist prohibitions on the inner and outer layers of Zulingjian Jade Bibi, and there are many ambushes. Unless you can get the forbidden maps on the inner and outer layers, it will be difficult to enter. On the outer wall, there is also a 6-character Buddhist magic talisman. Unless you have obtained the true teachings of Buddhism and have profound Zen skills, you can turn it 6 times a day according to the hours attached to the outer forbidden map to temporarily resolve it and temporarily stop its magical effect. In addition, the cave door is sealed with the Taoist Hunyuan Genkai. Except for the Tai Divine Thunder, which is rare in the Taoist sect, and the 36 phased gods and demons in the demon sect, only the Yin Thunder can open it. Moreover, the prohibition of the whole cave is not only closely related, but also interconnected with the hidden magic weapon, and it is extremely powerful. If you have to have the true Buddhist teaching of subduing demons, and you are a destined person, you can get the 2 pictures, but you will still be unable to enter. Li Yingxing's face wrinkled up after hearing this. Is it so difficult? Haha, don't worry, little junior sister. Although Zen Master Nobita is strong, he is still a little worse than our master. What's more, this time is the method of entry given by the master himself. I guarantee that I will get all the treasures without missing a piece. Fu Qingfeng smiled. When she thought of her master, the worry disappeared from Li Yingxing's face. He grew up listening to stories about his ancestor from his father. In her heart, no one was more capable than his ancestor. Not far ahead is Zulingjian. Come on, let's go down. Fu Qingfeng pressed the button to escape the light, and his fellow apprentices followed him, flying down the clouds and arriving above a deep stream. Looking over the past. This is a deep stream hundreds of feet wide, hundreds of feet deep, and thousands of feet long. Narrow on the sides and wide in the middle. Overall, it looks like a bead with a line in the middle. Senior sister, is this Zulingjian? Fu Qingfeng nodded. Master and I once came here once in a while. And when I used the treasure of the Genpai to look into the distance, the light of the treasure soared into the sky. It can't be faked. Everyone subconsciously activated the bronze mirrors in their danchan to look into the canyon, and sure enough, a large handful of precious light rose into the sky. Colorful and intense. In an instant, everyone's interest was aroused. Come on, let's go there. Fu Yueqi took the lead and flew straight towards the bead-shaped valley in the middle. It didn't take long before we reached the bottom. The closed valley shape isolates the cold mountain wind, so the place is full of greenery, with lush forests and bamboos, making it appear full of vitality. However, compared with these, the jade on the east side is deeply embedded in the mountain and is extremely smooth, which is particularly eye-catching. This jade is 100 feet wide and dozens of feet high. It is pale white and translucent. It's natural. Sister, there are many restrictions in this jade, Li Yingxing exclaimed. With the help of the bronze mirror, you can clearly see that the jade is densely packed, like a spider web-like restriction, tightly surrounding the hill-like jade in the middle. And the pressure emanating from every restriction made her feel frightened. Obviously, any of these restrictions are beyond the scope of what she can handle. No matter how strong the restriction is, it is not as mysterious as our Chongshan Academy's Huishan Taoism. Opening his left hand, a bronze square mirror appeared in his hand. You can clearly sense the rich spatial mystery it contains without having to go out of your way to understand it. The third master's most precious treasure, the mirror of the void. Zhifeng's eyes lit up. This is given to us by the third master, specifically for breaking the restrictions on the Pearl Lingjian Jade Bai. After that, under the influence of magic power, a bright silver light rushed out of the mirror and touched the jade. The mysterious power of space opened a passage that transcended the restriction and led directly to the interior. Looking at the black passage, which was familiar to everyone who often used the Celestial Elephant Gate, Fu Qingfeng spoke quickly. Come on, let's go in. With her taking the lead, 8 senior sisters filed in. In an instant, the scenery in front of him changed. We came to a space about half an acre in size, surrounded by jade. There is a mass of dark brown soil suspended in the middle of this space. Even though it is only a small handful, the powerful Wutu spiritual energy inside is astonishing. Western God Mud. The senior sisters quickly recognized the origin of the soil. But no one dared to collect it. Because the dozens of restrictions in the entire jade are all connected to the Western divine clay, once it is touched, it will alarm the entire restrictions in the jade. Beyond this mass of Western sacred mud, at the end is a stone door 9 feet high and 3 feet wide. Fu Qingfeng slapped the gourd on his waist, and a silver-white talisman flew out. His palms fluttered and he muttered silently. Disease. The silvery white magic talisman bloomed with light, and any restriction that touched this silvery white light would be instantly blocked, without any exception. "Is this a sealing talisman?" Denbago asked. "A treasure given by the master." After Fu Qingfeng finished speaking, he stretched out his hand and the Western divine mud flew into his palm obediently. After a brief glance, he placed it in front of Denbago. "Fifth junior sister, the patriarch said that among our sisters, you are the only one to participate in the Wuyutu Taoist practice, so he specifically ordered that you get this Western sacred mud. He also asked you to use it to sacrifice to the sacred sand gourd. The two are combined into one, and the power is if you add more, you will have more foundation for cultivating the best immortal weapons in the future." Su Yuchen was about to refuse, but when he heard that it was his master's explanation, he respectfully accepted it. Facing the east, he bowed and offered silent blessings. "Disciple Su Yuchen, thank you Patriarch for the treasure." As soon as her heart moved, an earth-yellow gourd shrouded in infinite mysterious light flew out from her dantian and quickly took in the Western divine clay in her hand. This Western sacred mud is the best Wuyutu fairy material, containing rich earth element spiritual energy. As soon as it fell into the gourd, the divine sand gourd began to bloom with a rich earth yellow aura, obviously showing that its source of energy had greatly increased. "Fifth junior sister, congratulations," Denbago said with a smile. "Thank you, senior sister, but there must be better treasures later," Su Yuchen said quickly. When they stopped here, Denbago and other girls could not help but show expectant looks on their faces. Fu Qingfeng saw it and smiled lightly. He activated the divine mirror of the void again, passed through the restrictions on the stone door, and came inside. This is a larger space, about the size of an acre field. In the entire space, the most eye-catching thing is the golden stone tablet in the middle. It stands on a jade white lotus flower nearly 3 feet in diameter, 1 foot 9 feet high, 1 foot 3 feet wide, and 7 feet thick. Thousands of golden seal characters are neatly carved on the stone tablet. A closer look reveals the life story of Zen Master Dakshin. With the help of the bronze mirror, 2 scriptures can be seen. A bay-leaf book, a golden book. After Fu Qingfeng used the divine mirror of the void to take out the 2 scriptures, he also knew their names. Amitabha Sutra. Hunyuan Zhenyang Sutra. The former talks about the ultimate path of cause and effect in Buddhism, and contains the 8 heavenly dragons of Buddhism, the divine palm of Amitabha and other great supernatural powers. It is a supreme scripture that can reach the pinnacle of cultivation and realize the 4 realms of Arhat and the 4th realm of Sotapanna Arhat. The latter talks about the way of yin and yang, but it is not a dual cultivation of yin and yang, but a dual cultivation method based on pure yang and supplemented by mysterious yin. Compared with the completeness of the former, Hunyuan Zhenyangjing is missing the 2 chapters of Xianxian and Jingxian at the back, so it is not complete. But it still contains the pure Yang Taoism behind him. After putting away these 2 scriptures, Fu Qingfeng looked up. There are several spiritual treasures suspended there. Fu Qingfeng followed his master's instructions and used a sealing talisman again to seal all the restrictions. He reached out and made a move, and a golden sword that was 2 feet 9 inches long and 3 fingers wide flew into his palm. After looking at it for a while, he handed it to Denbago. "Fourth junior sister, you are a master of both Ice Dao and Sword Dao, so my master is destined to give this demon-slaying sword to you." "Thank you, Patriarch, for the treasure." Denbago took it expectantly. The demon-slaying sword is just a low-grade immortal weapon from the 3 immortals, which is worse than her Fi Hung sword. But half a century ago, the ancestor divided the treasures, and she got a bottle of human yellow elixir, plus a piece of immortal iron that cost 30,000 yuan to refine. With its help, you can train this demon-slaying sword and your own Fi Hung sword into a top-grade immortal weapon for the 7 paths immortal forbidden. The combination of the 2 swords is perfect for practicing the Purple-Green Sword Sutra, the supreme sword of our section. Become a disciple of Taoist priest 4 Eyes. Author, Dong Ren. Chapter 680. Chongshan Academy's exercises have a very distinctive feature, which will be continuously improved as Su Junming's cultivation level continues to improve. In addition to the fundamental sutra, Chongshan Yuan Yang Sutra, other creation scriptures, Tiangonglu, Xianbing scriptures, etc. are gradually improved. This also applies to the secret code of sword cultivation. After studying the Ziying sword and Kingsuo sword, which are the most precious treasures of Yimei Zhenshan, and being proud of the profound principles of swordsmanship in them, he integrated the four-symbol sword sutra and compiled a new Ziking sword sutra as Chongshan Academy, the highest level of swordsmanship inheritance. Because it benefits from the purple and green swords, if you want to practice this scripture, you need two natal flying swords. Of course, one can also practice with one sword, but it is not as powerful as the combination of two swords. Fu Qingfeng waved again, and a third-grade golden lotus flew into his palm. Little junior sister, Master has ordered me to give this golden lotus throne to you. Li Yingxian has a unique eye. Even without the projection of the Danshan bronze mirror, he can see that this golden lotus throne is the most precious treasure in the entire Mahavira's treasury. Even the demon-suppressing golden ring and the Bei talisman are inferior to it. Senior sister, Yingxian has little talent and little knowledge. This golden lotus throne in my hands would be a waste of natural resources. It should be managed by the senior sisters in order to exert its magical effect. It is precisely because you have the lowest cultivation level that Master specially ordered this treasure to be given to you. The golden lotus throne's defense is unparalleled, enough to protect you from a murderous calamity. If you feel that your cultivation is not enough and you are afraid of letting down the treasure, then practice hard and strive to become an earth immortal as soon as possible so that you can be worthy of it. After that, with a wave of his hand, the golden lotus throne fell into Li Yingxian's hands. Little junior sister, take it. This is Master's instructions and cannot be violated. Yi Jing comforted. Although she ranks 6th among the masters, her cultivation level is not as good as Zhu Feng, who has been practicing for thousands of years and transformed into an ancient divine dove. After the latter received the true inheritance of Chongshan lineage, he accumulated a lot of experience and made rapid progress. He is the second disciple of Su Wang's sect who has reached the middle stage of advancement to the bottom line and has reached the realm of true immortal in understanding the Ice Way. He is second only to Fu Qingfeng and above Fu Yueqi and Deng Baguo. Now after taking the Guangcheng Golden Pill, he has become a true immortal. Although Yi Jing has accumulated experience in the previous life, she has only been practicing Taoism for a short period of time. In terms of cultivation, although he is already a soul, he is still ahead of Li Yingxian, who has just started. Therefore, I take good care of this little junior sister. Little junior sister, we all have treasures given by our master. Although the golden lotus throne is precious, it is not a treasure. You don't need to worry, just take it, Fu Yueqi said with a smile. Others also spoke to persuade her, and Li Yingxian was moved. After nodding heavily, I will work hard to practice in the future and live up to the expectations of my master. He, this is right. Fu Yueqi smiled and patted her little head, turned his head with a smile, and winked at Fu Qingfeng. Fu Qingfeng had long been used to his sister's jumping off, so he shook his head slightly and waved. A golden ring flew into his palm. 6th junior sister, I give you this golden ring for subduing demons. Thank you, senior sister. Yi Jing said happily. 7th junior sister, my master has specifically told me that I will give the pure heart wooden fish to you. I hope you will uphold the right path, eliminate evil thoughts, and practice hard. Zhu Feng took the wooden fish respectfully. Disciple, thank you master for the treasure. Although Zhu Feng is a divine bird belonging to the phoenix genus, it was born from the turbid energy of the earth. It has the ability to eat ghosts, has a fierce temperament, and is naturally powerful. But turbid energy confuses the mind, and if the mind is not firm, it is easy to follow the path of evil. Therefore, Su Junming gave it the king's inwu. This treasure is practiced with the Buddhist heart method. After being struck, it can emit a wonderful sound that awakens the spirit and prevents people from being confused by inner demons. It is most suitable for monks like Zhufeng who are born with strong demonic thoughts. Yuechi, you have to break the magic knife. Fu Qingfeng handed the sword to Fu Qingfeng's hand. This is a medium-grade immortal artifact. Although it is not as good as the demon-slaying golden ring, the golden lotus throne and the bay leaf talisman, it is indeed a rare killing treasure. He, thank you, ancestor, thank you sister. She has the Dong Huafan and the Eye Soul aura, which can protect her body and kill the enemy, but if she has a pure killing treasure, she can also enhance her strength. The bay leaf talisman is given to third junior sister, the demon binding lock is mine, and the diamond shovel is really not a treasure for us women. After master resumes training, he will give it to master. There are 49 demon transforming pills left. There are 8 senior sisters and I, and each of us has 3 pills. The rest will be given to master and grandmaster. The distribution of treasures has been completed, and everyone has no objections. Come on, let's go out. Use the void mirror to open the passage and come to the Zuling stream. The magic power in Fu Qingfeng's dungeon poured into the void mirror. The latter's brilliance skyrocketed and instantly turned into a giant 100 feet in size. The vast azure divine light enveloped the jade. Although Zen Master Daxiang's magic power is tyrannical, Fu Qingfeng's magic power is no worse than him now. Coupled with the spatial spiritual treasure of the void mirror, it can instantly cut off the restriction between the Jade Bai and the surrounding mountains. Then I saw this strange stone from Tianzi being slowly put away by the void mirror. After doing this, the divine mirror of the void slowly converged its divine light and flew into Fu Qingfeng's hands. He clapped his hands and was about to tell the junior sisters to leave. How dare you, this rat, steal my Buddhist spiritual treasure? Along with the angry voice, a ray of Buddha's light flew from the southeast. Not long after, a tall and handsome young monk wearing yellow cassock appeared in the eyes of the girls. Seeing a beautiful woman standing next to her, the young monk was stunned for a moment, then his expression instantly became serious. Who did I think he was? I didn't expect him to be Zuyumu, the famous virgin-picking monk who killed innocent people indiscriminately, Fu Yuechi said sarcastically. Ever since Su Junming had a fight with Tianmeng and Beimei in Kangmang Mountain a year ago for the Purple Ying sword, the two disciples have been at odds with each other. The monk Zuyumu and his good friend Zhang Suijun made trouble for Chongshan disciples, although they didn't make much money. But the feud between the two parties is getting deeper and deeper. Fu Yuechi, please stop slandering others. Although I, Zuyumu, have killed many people, I am still a demon who commits heinous crimes and has never killed innocent people indiscriminately. And in terms of killings, you, Fairy Hanyu, may not be less than me. I haven't seen you for more than 10 years, and you are very talkative. But I am too lazy to argue with you. Get out of the way, otherwise I will be rude to you. You can't leave. Who in the entire cultivation world doesn't know that Zen Master Daxiang is an expert in our Buddhist section? The treasures he left behind are also the treasures of our Buddhist section. You, Chongshan Academy, are a Taoist sect and cannot take away my Buddhist spiritual treasures, Zuyumu said quickly. Haha, Zen Master Daxiang is indeed a Buddhist, but he did enter Buddhism from Taoism, so fundamentally speaking, he is still a Taoist. Why can't we, Chongshan Academy, take his treasures? Besides, when Zen Master Daxiang left the inheritance, he only said that the gift was destined, but he did not say that only Buddhist disciples were destined. Since our sisters and brothers got this treasure today, we are destined to be together. Second senior sister is right. We have the treasure, and we are destined to be together. If you dare to stop it, don't blame us for being rude to you. Li Yingxiang raised her eyebrows and said angrily. Zuyumu's expression changed. He secretly prayed that his master would come over quickly, otherwise his cultivation would not be able to stop these female evil stars in front of him. Amitabha. Accompanied by the loud Buddha's name, 3 rays of Buddha's light flashed from a distance. After coming closer, 3 monks wearing monk robes were revealed. They are no strangers to each other. The one in the middle wearing a yellow monk's robe is Tianmen. The one on the left who is wearing a green monk's robe and slightly fat is Bai Mei. The one on the right who is wearing a grey monk's robe and who is skinny is Bai Mei's junior brother, Zen Master Kongchuo. Seeing the 3 people, Zhu Yumu breathed a sigh of relief. Disciple pays homage to master and uncle, and pays homage to senior Tianmen. The white-browed monk glanced at his disciple with approval and then changed his gaze. Looking at the 8 senior sisters, their expressions were equally cautious. Amitabha, several female benefactors, and Zen Master Mahavira are my great Buddhist predecessors. Although his legacy is destined to be a gift, the restrictions set in it indicate that it will only be left to my Buddhist disciples. No one in the entire cultivation world knows about this matter. Chongshan Academy is a famous and authentic sect in the world, so I don't think I would do anything to steal other people's treasures. Forcibly seizing other people's treasures. What a big crime, Fu Qingfeng said coldly. Bai Mei, let me tell you. Today, our sisters and brothers have decided on this great treasure. If anyone dares to stop it, don't blame us for being rude. Let's go. The 8 people jumped up and fled to leave. Amitabha, I'm afraid the 8 female donors cannot leave. Zen Master Tianmen's body shot up thousands of feet of Buddha's light, blocking the way of the 8 people. A glint flashed in Fu Qingfeng's eyes. Yuechi, 4th junior sister, you 2 work together to take down the white-browed monk as soon as possible. Sister, I am enough on my own. There is no need for 4th junior sister at all, Fu Yuechi said in a voice message. Master told us to take down all the Buddhists who prevent us from taking the Mahavira's treasure house in the shortest possible time. Although Fu Yuechi has an out-of-touch personality, he has practiced cultivation for nearly 300 years and is able to prioritize. I didn't say much more. 7th junior sister, Monk Kongchuo is entrusted to you. Yes, senior sister. Zhufeng said respectfully. Kongchuo's cultivation level is only in the late stage of Arhat. With the early stage cultivation level of Zhufeng True Immortal, it is not difficult to defeat him. 5th junior sister, you take down the monk Zuyumu. Su Yuchen responded. Now her cultivation level has reached the middle stage of Earth Immortal, which is 1 level higher than Zuyumu. With the help of the spirit treasure in her hand, it is not difficult to defeat Zuyumu. 6th junior sister, 8th junior sister, you 2 are rushing to the side. Yijing and Li Yingsheng also knew that their cultivation was not enough, so they agreed obediently. After the arrangements were made, Fu Qingfeng soared into the sky with the magic power hidden deep in his danshan, and the strange news of his rapid descent instantly made people feel like they were in the 12th lunar month of winter. I have made it very clear before. Since you are still trying to stop us, don't blame us sisters for being rude. Ami. Before Tianmen could finish speaking, several auras stronger than him rose into the sky. Immediately afterwards, the overwhelming I-Soul divine light shot out. Tianmen, Bai Mei, Kongchuo, and Zuyumu's expressions changed drastically. Although they had long expected that Su Wang's Lianyu lineage was astonishingly powerful, but their instant burst of strength still shocked them. Fu Qingfeng, Fu Yuechi, Den Baguo, and Zhufeng are all true immortals. Especially Fu Qingfeng, who has already reached the middle stage of true immortal cultivation. The slightly weaker Su Yuchen also has the cultivation level of the Middle Earth Immortal. Not good. Brilliant golden light soared into the sky from above Tianmen's head. Immediately afterwards, a golden building that shimmered in 7 colors and surrounded by 10 colors rose slowly. The rich golden Buddha light blocked the incoming I-Soul divine light. No wonder I'm so confident. It turns out I even brought the 7 treasures golden building together. But it's just right. Fu Qingfeng took out the divine mirror of the void, and powerful azure light shot straight towards the seven treasures golden tower like a waterfall. Realizing that something was wrong, Tianmeng poured all his Buddhist power into the seven treasures golden banner without caring about anything else. After all, it is the most precious treasure left by Buddhism in the world. The dazzling golden light, accompanied by the majestic Sanskrit Buddhist chants, turned into a golden wall, blocking the spatial aura of the void mirror. Fu Qingfeng continued to output mana. But although her cultivation level was stronger than Tianmeng's, it wasn't much stronger. Moreover, with the seven treasures and golden pillars protecting the body, the Taoist methods of Fu Yueqi, Zhifeng, and Denbago were unable to work. Recalling his master's instructions before leaving, Fu Qingfeng hesitated for a moment, then quickly found a seal in the middle of the void mirror. After flying his hands, several seals flew into it. The seal was instantly released, and in an instant, a vast sea of mana exploded. The entire void divine mirror buzzed, erupting with an extremely powerful azure aura. In an instant, a cyan sun with a diameter of several thousand feet seemed to appear in the sky. Looking at the cyan sun, Tianmeng and others felt a strong threat from it. Quickly put the mana into the seven treasures golden building. Beimei, Kongchuo, and Zuyumu, who knew the importance, had already poured their magic power into them without Tianmeng urging them. Boom! The powerful azure aura, like a giant sword in the hand of a god, fell down instantly. The seven treasures golden pillars are powerful if they are strong, but the people who can't help but activate them are not cultivated enough. He was instantly overwhelmed by the azure divine light of the void divine mirror. After everything calmed down, there were no traces of the four monks Tianmeng, Beimei, Kongchuo, and Zuyumu. There was only a slowly shrinking void mirror falling from mid-air. Subconsciously he reached out and took it. Fu Qingfeng still had a trace of shock on his face. I thought it would take a lot of effort to complete the instructions given by my mentor. I didn't expect it to be done so easily. Wow, senior sister, the third master's void mirror is too powerful. Fu Yueqi flew over and took away the mirror from her sister's arms. Her eyes were shining brightly and she couldn't help but dance in her hand. Looking at her, she wanted to take it for herself. Other junior sisters also gathered around, with shock on their faces. Fu Qingfeng didn't explain much. The seal in the void mirror was obviously the master's backup move. Take back the divine mirror of the void and soak in your spiritual consciousness. Sure enough, traces of Tianmeng, Beimei, Kongchuo, and Zuyumu were found in the void space attached to the divine realm. However, all four of them had their cultivation sealed. Okay, the matter has been completed. It is important for us to return to Suolian Valley and return to our teacher. After that, he didn't give anyone a chance to talk back, and flew towards the northwest first. The senior sisters looked at each other and quickly followed. Everyone is not stupid. To capture the three monks Tianmeng, Beimei, and Kongchuo, and to take the seven treasures golden banner, is to break up with Buddhism. Although you have your back to the master, there is nothing to be afraid of, but for such a big thing, of course you have to go back and tell the master first to be prepared. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Become a disciple of Taoist priest 4 Eyes. Author, Dong Ren. Chapter 681. Chapter 663, 100,000 demons cultivate the Taoist body. Snow Lotus Valley deep in the Tian Shan Mountains. This is a deep valley that is thousands of acres in size. The outside is covered with snow and the wind is biting, but inside it is warm as spring, with birds singing, flowers fragrant, and greenery alluring. In the wide and deep valley, a small lake of about 100 acres is like a mirror embedded in the earth. A straight plank road goes deep into the lake, and at the end is a pavilion made of heavy wood. Look from a distance. The simple pavilion reflects the blue waves. It is like a beautiful and poetic landscape painting, which makes people intoxicated. Wearing a long skirt, with her hair tied high, Su Huang, who has a beautiful and cold appearance, is sitting cross-legged in the pavilion. Chirp. Accompanied by several melodious phoenix calls, 4 or 5 Luan birds of different colors flew in from a distance. Chasing each other, passing over the lake. The woman opened her eyes from her trance, and her cold gaze stared straight ahead like lightning. After a moment, she calmed down. With a thought in his heart, he turned his head and looked towards the east. Not long after, several rays of light appeared in his eyes. Dun Guang successfully passed the protective formation in the valley, and then drove straight to the pavilion in the lake. Soon, 7 women with different looks but the same beauty appeared in front of them. Disciple meets his mentor. Looking at the 7 disciples he had painstakingly cultivated for 300 years, excluding Tangzikan, his cold eyes became gentle. Get up. After the 7 people got up. How are you doing with the tasks assigned to you? Fu Qingfeng took a step forward and said respectfully. The disciple has obtained all the treasures in the Mahavira's treasury according to the instructions of the master and the master, and has completed the distribution of the treasures according to the master's instructions. The remaining items are a low-grade immortal weapon, a magic wand, 25 magic transforming pills, a steel for storing sutras, a rare stone from Tianzu where the treasure is stored, as well as an Amitabhajra Sutra and a Hunyuan Zhenyang Sutra. The former can be cultivated to the level of Sotapanna Arhat, while the latter is originally the secret code of the Golden Immortal, but the Xianxian chapter and the final Golden Immortal chapter are missing. In addition, there are also the Bay Talisman and 3 magic pills that should be given to the third junior sister. All the treasures are here, please take a look at them, master. Fu Qingfeng took out a magic bag and handed it to Su Huang. The latter opened it and took a look, then smiled and nodded. You guys did a great job. Thank you for the compliment, master. If it hadn't been for master's explanation, as well as the void divine realm and 2 sealing talismans given by master, we might not have been able to obtain the treasure smoothly, Fu Qingfeng said humbly. Su Huang nodded and said, when you leave, will you encounter any obstacles from Buddhists? Yes, first Beimei's great disciple, Kwei monk Zuyumu, appeared to stop him, and then Tianmeng, Beimei and Kongchuo appeared at the same time. The disciple adheres to the instructions of the teacher and fights quickly. Unfortunately, Zen master Tianmeng held the 7 treasures golden pillar, the first treasure of Imei, and was unable to capture it in his haste. The disciple boldly used the backhand left by the master in the mirror, and then he was captured in one fell swoop. While speaking, Fu Qingfeng held the divine mirror of the void with his magic power and handed it to Su Huang. After Su Huang glanced twice, he waved his hand, and a wretched white-robed monk appeared in mid-air. Zuyumu looked at the situation in front of him, then looked at the cold and beautiful figure sitting in the pavilion, and his expression suddenly changed. Go back and tell Zun Sheng that I will wait for him at Tianshan Mountain. After that, he waved his sleeves, and a wave of waves that Zuyumu couldn't resist swept him thousands of miles away. Staggering to steady his body, Zuyumu looked at the snow-capped mountains in the distance, fear mixed with anger on his face. After hesitating for a moment, he gritted his teeth and urged the escape light to fly towards the south. Chongshan lives in Tiangong Hall. The Tiangong divine furnace in the middle is 100 feet high. Through the huge transom window, you can clearly see the raging fire that is almost boiling inside. Su Junming, Tai Zhenjun, and Dragon Emperor sat in the air around the Tiangong divine furnace according to the positions of the 3 talents. A bone-white mist and a dark black mist rolled out of the Tiangong divine furnace and flew towards Su Junming. The bone-white mist is the extremely condensed bone essence. After entering Su Junming's body, it was quickly absorbed and refined by his bones. Visible to the naked eye, his bones, like fine white jade, are getting harder and denser. The strengthening of bones brings stronger hematopoietic ability. The billowing essence and blood flows into the body, carrying sufficient nutrients to make the physical body stronger. And after the dark black mist entered the body, it penetrated deep into the sea of consciousness. In the unknown sea of consciousness, there is an extremely huge gourd vine that seems to be tens of thousands of feet tall. This gourd vine looks like an ancient giant mountain, exuding black, white and green colors. There are 4 scars between the huge and densely packed gourd leaves. Beyond the 4 scars, there is a purple gourd as big as 100 feet. And 1 white, 1 green, 2 huge gourd flowers. Although the purple gourds and gourd flowers are extremely huge, compared with the entire gourd vine, they seem to have just grown and are far from mature. But after the black essence from outside was poured into the purple gourd, the latter obviously accelerated its growth. In just a few moments, it more than doubled in size. Not far away, the 5-color divine light shining above the Dragon Emperor's head. Red, yellow, white, blue, and green, the 5-color light flew out from the Tiangong divine furnace and was absorbed by the 5-color divine light. Relatively speaking, red and white have the most aura, followed by blue and cyan, and yellow has the least. It can be seen that with the addition of the 5-color spiritual light, the 5-color divine light above the Dragon Emperor's head is getting brighter and stronger, and the pressure is becoming more and more astonishing. Finally, Tai Zhenjun had a black hole 3 feet in diameter suspended above his head. The deep hole seemed to swallow even the light. The surrounding space seemed to be pulled by the tyrannical force of devouring, and wrinkles like water waves appeared. There are also endless streams of vitality of various colors flying out from the Tiangong divine furnace and being swallowed by the black hole. However, compared to Su Junming, who only had bone white and mysterious black, and Dragon Emperor, who only had red, yellow, white, blue, and green, and the 5 elements of vitality, what Tai Zhenjun swallowed on his head was too complicated. I don't know how much time passed, but the Tiangong divine furnace gradually calmed down. The 3 of them opened their eyes at the same time. Su Junming felt the changes in his body, with a look of satisfaction on his face. Coupled with the assistance of these white bone essences, his physical body has reached the perfect state of a top-grade military commander. If you want to break through upward, you can only go through the tribulation. And those soul essences also made the representative non-poisonous body grow dozens of times. Although he obviously felt that it was still a little early for the 5th 7-soul body to be born. But at least it's much better than the hopeless beginning. Turning his head, he happened to see the smile on the Dragon Emperor's face. It's not easy to make a guy like you, who is usually cold-faced, smile. It seems like you made a lot of money this time. Although I got more, it is definitely not as good as him. Seeing the 2 people's gazes, Tai Zhenjun took out the wine gourd and took a sip. He patted his fat belly and said with a smile, "I just pick up the trash you don't like. Now I want to punch him in that fat face," Dragon Emperor said suddenly. "I want, to." Su Junming echoed. Seeing the cold gazes of the 2 men, Zhenjun Tai's smile froze. "Haha, I still have to go through the tribulation, so I won't accompany you for now." Together with the light, they disappeared in an instant. "My great 5 elements divine light has reached the 3rd stage, and I also need to overcome the tribulation." After saying that, the Dragon Emperor took a step forward and disappeared. Soon, the Tiangong hall became empty. Su Junming looked at the flames that had mostly calmed down in the Tiangong divine furnace and sighed slightly. "I don't know how long it will take before I have another chance." When he captured 100,000 demon cultivators in Taicheng Mountain, he almost wiped out most of the power of the middle and upper level demon sects in the entire Shushan world. What Su Junming got was not just 100,000 coolies who could help refine the acquired chaotic energy and strengthen the world of Chongshan. There are also magic weapons, elixirs, and various spiritual tools they carry. Not to mention anything else, there are hundreds of thousands of magic weapons and instruments alone. You must know that the person who can cross the vast snow-capped mountains and go to Taichung Mountain to listen to sermons is at least a golden elixir. Most of them are in the nascent soul realm. Therefore, although their treasures are nothing in Su Junming's eyes, they are not ordinary either. What's more, there are also elixirs and spiritual materials. So, this is an unimaginably huge wealth. However, except for a small number of elixirs, spiritual roots, spiritual materials, and some fairy weapons, most of them are unusable. Su Junming threw these unused things into the Tiangong divine furnace to develop various vitality. Although it is a pity to do this, if he is willing to spend time practicing, he can turn the magic weapon into a righteous magic weapon and obtain more treasures from the world of practice. However, the duel with the Ime party is imminent, and time is precious. Therefore, it is the most appropriate choice to directly practice spiritual energy with the Tiangong divine furnace. However, all he can use is bone essence and soul essence. All the Dragon Emperor wants is the vitality of the 5 elements. But Tai Zhenjun is relatively rough. The black hole he was born with is both a magical power and a magic weapon. What's more important is that no matter what type of vitality it is, it can be digested and become part of the black hole. Therefore, at least half of the vitality turned into millions of trophies including magic weapons, magic elixirs, corpse refining, poisonous insects, etc. went into Tai's stomach. Not only did it make his black hole a step further, but it also supplemented the foundation of the advanced Golden Immortal. The Dragon Emperor's great 5 elements divine light has also reached the stage of overcoming the tribulation and advancing to the mysterious immortal stage. Along with the progress was his cultivation. The two went to overcome the tribulation, but Su Junming did not go to watch. He believed that with the background of the two of them, it would not be difficult to survive the thunderstorm. After leaving the Tiangong Hall, we came to the creation spirit pond at the back. There are 7 green lotuses, 3 golden Bodhi lotuses, 2 black and white albizia lotuses, 1 red lotus, 14 jade lotuses from Yaokai, and 1 innate white lotus growing in the calm, ripple-free water. The most precious red lotus is a low-grade innate spiritual root containing innate karma fire. Next is the white lotus, which is an innate spiritual thing. The third one is the albizia julibrisin, which is tens of thousands of years old, and is called Bodhi golden lotus. Among all the lotus flowers, there is a white boulder nearly 10 feet tall with 9 orifices, sucking in the surrounding aura of creation. Become a disciple of Taoist priest 4 eyes. Author, Dong Ren. Chapter 682. Chapter 664, Innate Magical Power, Swallowing the Sky and the Earth. Su Junming shook his head when he saw that there were only traces of the innate Taishi's fundamental energy left in the 9 apertures Lingxi. Although he kept this spiritual stone and did not destroy its aura, after successively giving birth to 2 innate gods, he and Tai Zhenjun, he had consumed most of the tens of thousands of years of accumulation of this 9-aperture spiritual stone. Even if the creation spiritual energy in the creation spirit pool is constantly replenished, it will still take a long time to accumulate to the point where it can breed innate gods. Unless the creation spirit pool continues to advance in the future, he will have to wait. He glanced at the 6-winged golden silkworm lying on the white lotus. He still looked like he was dying. With one step, he appeared on the Creation Spirit Island. The current Creation Spirit Island is much larger than before. It already covers hundreds of thousands of acres. The layout is still the same as before. 4 mountains in the southeast and northwest surround a plain in the middle. There are some rolling hills between the plains and mountains. The 4 mountains and hills correspond to spring, summer, autumn and winter, yin and yang, the 5 elements, and the 4 seasons of weather, and elixirs with different habits are cultivated respectively. In plain areas, elixirs that only require strong spiritual energy and are less demanding on the environment are cultivated. Today, after hundreds of years of accumulation, There are more than 3,000 kinds of elixirs and millions of plants in Su Junming's creation Spirit Island. There are nearly 100 kinds of celestial roots and celestial beings alone, and more than 2,000 plants. As for the innate spiritual roots, in addition to the third-grade fire red lotus, there are also three-color flat peach, innate red fruit and innate white plum. At the same time, there are nearly 200 elves who have taken the form of ginseng, ganoderma and other herbs to help him manage this increasingly large medicinal garden. In addition, capturing 100,000 demonic cultivators this time made his medicine garden much stronger. Among them, more than a dozen kinds of fairy roots were harvested, with nearly 200 books. The only pity is that I didn't find another innate spiritual root. However, the innate spiritual roots are not cabbage. It is a rare opportunity for him to have 4 low-grade spiritual roots. I'm afraid that no one's medicine garden in the entire Qi County, China, including the Lingkong Immortal Realm, can compare with his. Feeling the extremely rich vitality around him, Su Junming showed a look of enjoyment on his face. His favorite thing is to take a walk in the medicine garden when he has nothing to do. Watching its scale grow little by little, especially when he saw the varieties becoming richer, the feeling of satisfaction made him feel more happy than the improvement of his cultivation level. Moreover, it is full of vitality and can best relax the tense nerves after ascetic practice. It was the same this time. After months of intense training, he needed to relax. I walked around along the stone paths in different areas of the Gulian medicine garden, picked some mature herbs, and sealed them in jade boxes for future elixir refining. Almost forgot. The figure flashed out of the medicine garden. Arriving outside Chongshan residence, in an instant, earth-shattering thunder reached my ears. Looking up, I saw thunder rolling 90,000 miles away. The mighty thunder, like a surging river, hit the fat man in the middle. As a result, before he could even touch him, he was swallowed by a huge black hole with a diameter of several thousand feet. Whether it is the sinister wind that corrodes the bones, the golden swords that fill the sky, the raging fire, the poisonous water that melts gold into iron, the wood disaster that gradually turns people into wood, or the heavy earth disaster that can crush people. They all collapsed in front of this black hole and were swallowed up completely. Tai Zhenjun was lying leisurely on a white cloud, drinking wine, his small eyes were half squinted, and he looked drunk. He didn't have the slightest nervousness that he should have when crossing a tribulation. The Dragon Emperor flew over, the aura on his body was dozens of times greater than before, the 5-color mysterious light behind his head fluctuated, and the aura was 100 times greater than before. Obviously, the Dragon Emperor has overcome the tribulation and become a mysterious immortal, and the great 5 elements divine light has also entered the mysterious immortal stage. And thanks to the previous accumulation, he has just entered the 3rd stage and has already gone a long way in it. This guy's innate magical powers are really overbearing. Su Junming heard a bit of envy from it. Looking at the way Tai Zhenjun survived the tribulation, Su Junming could understand his feelings. As long as you eat it, you can continue to become stronger, and you are not afraid of meat and fish, and anything will do, even if it is the worldly aura that monks are afraid of. Moreover, after being digested by the black hole, it can also turn into spiritual energy and feed it back to the main body. As long as matter exists, there is no need to worry about the end of heaven and earth. Everything made Tai Zhenjun's innate magical power of swallowing heaven and devouring earth become so outstanding and so enviable. Although the Dragon Emperor has 2 innate magical powers. However, the universality of mastering the 5 elements and the true shape map of the 5 mountains is always inferior to that of swallowing the sky and devouring the earth. In addition, Su Junming, who was created by the 9 apertures divine stone and became an innate god, also has innate supernatural powers. Like Tai Zhenjun, he only has 1 innate magical power. 7 soul dharma body. So strictly speaking, his innate magical powers are the most powerful. No matter how you jump around, the benefits belong to me. Su Junming stretched out his hand and a big purple drum flew out from behind his head. The majestic purple spiritual light dispersed, and the power of thunder scattered around it seemed to be sucking water with a long neck, swallowing it up in an instant. Feeling the stronger aura of the sky thunder drum, Su Junming felt quite regretful. This is the golden immortal heavenly tribulation. Even the scattered thunder energy can greatly enhance the origin of the thunder drum and refine one or two more restraints. But Tai Genjun's black hole was so overbearing that he didn't leave much behind at all. Look at the last tribulation. If it is taken away by him, we will be completely out of luck, the Dragon Emperor said. Obviously, he also hopes to take away the remaining vitality of the five elements after the collapse of the five elements heavenly tribulation, so as to strengthen his own great five elements divine light. Su Junming nodded and said nothing more. Tai Genjun half raised his eyelids, looking into the distance and waiting for the two of them quietly. He thought to himself, Tai, have always taken advantage of me, how could I let others pick up my yang gluo? After grabbing the wine gourd with his left hand and taking a sip, he patted his bulging belly with his right hand. In an instant, an ordinary-looking black clay pot flew out from the top door. Drawing a beautiful parabola, it flew into the black hole overhead. When the two merged, the black hole seemed to have taken a Shiquan Dabu pill and expanded several times in an instant. The black hole has a diameter of 10,000 feet, and its devouring power has also grown several times stronger. Soon, the huge 7-9 heavenly tribulations, in the surprised eyes of Su Junming and Dragon Emperor, seemed like elongated noodles, swallowed whole by the black hole. Again. Su Junming smiled bitterly in his heart. I remember that it was like this when true Lord Tai was born and passed through the Xianxian thunder tribulation. I didn't expect that it would still be like this when he went through the golden immortal thunder tribulation. The final calamity of inner demons is not difficult for Tai Genjun, who possesses the bronze mirror projection. Seeing the thousands of feet of innate spiritual energy falling from the sky, Su Junming shook his head and took back the thunder drum. I'm going to visit Xiaohuang Er Snow Lotus Valley. Do you want to stay here or go back to stabilize your cultivation? The Dragon Emperor, knowing that there was no bargain to be gained, shook his head. I'll go to Rongcheng. People in Yimei don't know when they will take action. Although Zhuge Wolong has become a true immortal, he is still a little behind in facing Qinmei. Only with me here can you be safe. Su Junming nodded, and with a wave of his hand, the four-color sword box flew into the hands of the Dragon Emperor. Take it with you, and if you encounter the Lianji dust formation, use the four elephants sword formation to break it. The Dragon Emperor nodded, took a step, landed on the teleportation stone platform in the distance, activated the teleportation array, and his figure disappeared instantly. Su Junming put away Chongshan residence and the palace treasure tree, and after looking at true Lord Tai, who was still stabilizing his cultivation, he also used the teleportation array to go to Snow Lotus Valley. Feeling the movement of the teleportation array, Su Huang took a step forward and rushed over. Looking at Su Junming appearing in front of him, he quickly bowed and saluted. Disciple meets master. No need to be polite, just get up. Yes. Let's go to your King's Inziazu. King's Inziazu is a wooden house built by Su Huang beside the small lake in the Swilianya Valley. Normally, this is where guests are treated in retreat. Where are those girls? Why didn't you see them when you came here? Su Junming asked as he walked. I'm going to trick them into refining treasures. Then. Is there any shortage of treasures in Dakshin's treasury? It's still the same as what the disciples saw before. I got back everything without missing anything. However, most of them were made according to the Buddhist treasure refining method. They are activated by our Taoist method. I'm afraid it will be difficult to perform their power. With that said, Su Huang put the magic wand and the Bei talisman that were left in his hand and had not been given to Tang Zikan into Su Junming's hands. It can be seen that Zen Master Dakshin has a good level of weapon refining. The magic wand and bay leaf talisman have basically exerted nearly 80% of the potential of their own materials. Don't underestimate this number. Most of the weapon refiners in the entire Shushan world have achieved a good level of 6 who can unleash the potential of their materials. As for Su Junming, at his current level, as long as it is not a top-grade immortal weapon, he can maximize the potential of the material to 100%. These two immortal weapons should be kept with me for 3 days. Su Huang nodded. The two came to Su Huang's King's Xiaozu. In the large wooden building, there are several paintings, calligraphy, and porcelain on display, showing a rare elegance. He sat down on the main seat without hesitation. Su Huang handed the demon transformation pill, 10 rare stones and 7 treasures golden pillar into his hands. The demon transformation pill is a low-grade elixir that can soothe irritable thoughts, purify the mind, and get rid of inner demons. This is a rare treasure for any monk who is about to break through. But for the direct monks of the Chongshan line who have bronze mirrors, they are quite useless. However, Su Junming still took the elixir away. After all, he still has some named disciples, similar to Kilosaniang. Although they are not direct disciples, they are steady and kind-hearted, with excellent character, and they need to be taken care of. Tianzu Strange Stone, the treasure trove opened by Zen Master Dakshan, is located inside the stone that is hundreds of feet tall. As for the Buddhist scripture stele, it is the core of the stone and its most precious part. With a wave of his hand, the Tibetan scripture stele melted away instantly, and the rich spiritual stone essence blended into the entire stone. Su Junming flipped his palms and countless seals flew into them. Restrictions were rapidly derived one after another. Gradually, the spirit stone gradually shrank and turned into a stone seal with 2 dragon buttons. With a finger, an invisible space expanded rapidly. In the blink of an eye, it was tens of thousands of feet long and horizontal. With a casual throw, the stone seal once again turned into a size of several hundred feet and flew high into the sky. In an instant, countless thunders were generated, and thunder struck one after another, like rain hitting banana trees, or like a skilled blacksmith forging out the impurities in the stone seal with a hammer. After everything passed, he used the sky thunder drum to absorb the thunderous energy in the sky. With a wave of his hand, the stone seal slowly shrank and fell into Su Junming's left palm. After playing with it for a while, he handed it to Su Huang. What do you think? Hold it in your hand. The round sculpture of the intersection of 2 dragons is lifelike. Open the bottom. 4 seal characters came into view. 2 dragon seals. It's not an amazing name, but what surprised Su Huang the most was that there was actually 6 paths immortal taboo among them. In such a short period of time, his master had refined a top-notch middle-grade immortal weapon. The strong ability to refine weapons once again refreshed Su Huang's knowledge. My mentor's skill in refining weapons is amazing. Smile lightly. Leave this treasure to your little disciple for protection. Yes. Li Yingshan is under Kongshan's section compared with her being in Imei in the original work, the importance is lower. After all, there is no saying that Chongshan Academy can thrive only by 3 talents and 2 clouds. Therefore, this 2 dragon seal can be regarded as a compensation given to her by Su Junming. He waved his hand to close the previous space, and finally looked at the 7 treasures golden building in his hand.